Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the CTN Network channel. As with you always, this is Max, doing another live video today on XRP. So with that said, smash that like. Glad to be here with all you people of this great world. We're going to start with the first comment of the day, and it comes from the one, the only, Mr. Tim Shea, who says, hey, glad to have you here, Mr. Tim Shea, Mayor of Crypto. The crypto commissioner representing the 589th, the district, his fellow constituents. Thank you for being here, Mr. Tim Shea. Turning on some banners, getting things going. It's going to be nice. Yes, it seems like it's a crash. I want to state this real quick. Hold on a second. Let me turn on some more things. There's always going to be that one guy, guaranteed, who's going to show up at some point. Maybe he's already here. I don't know. No offense to him or her. And there's going to be that one guy, you can count on it. At some point, he's going to say that BTC is going to crash to 12K. Guarantee he's going to say it. We're going to jump into this outline as altcoin season basically started. It's just basically just a retracement. We'll get into all that here in a bit. Let me just double check something. I think I got some stuff going off real quick. All right, I think we're good. All right, sorry about the dings and whistles, but I got to have it on. All right, so let's start off also with Brittany. She says, hi, Max. Hi, everyone. Glad to have you here. Ms. Brittany, thank you. Patrick Collier says, Big Max. Well, welcome, Mr. Patrick Collier with the big fish. Nice looking fish. Are those actually your fish? Is that your aquarium? Nice looking aquarium. Please smash that like. We're currently at 10 likes. We need to get this out to a broader audience. Some of the headlines for today are obviously what's going on with the crash. We're bringing you some updates in regards to you deciding on, are you going to give into like a bunch of comments from a random live show? Or are you actually going to look at the actual data and make your own conclusion, right? Top of that, we're going to get into some stellar news. Lots of news in regards to Stellar. I've never seen so much news all at once, all on one day. A little bit of Ripple XRP, and of course, we have some Jasmine for you today. All right, going to get to a few more comments. On top of that, we got the one and only Mr. Boomer Effin Sooner is in the house. The one, the only Mr. Boomer Effin Sooner. That's right. Thank you for being here, Boomer Effin Sooner. GG is back. Welcome back, GG. GG says, Max, that QNT Metaverse vid you put out was fire. Well, thank you. Shout out to Steve Rose. I don't know if he's watching. He was just like, hey, man, a lot higher than 15K, 100K. I've done 2 videos about how I feel it's going to go to 100K. I was basically stating, I think a lot of you guys know this. Maybe he does, too. I'll give them benefit of that 15K just off of the metaverse. That is bullish as all you know what. All right. Last week picked up 150 QNT. That is, if our channel is Arby's and that we have the meats, not the Coney Islands, but if we have the meats, and definitely not the Coney Islands, but if we have the meats, then 150 QNT is beefy as all hell, right? Absolutely. KK is in the house. Crash equaling a buying opportunity. Wealthy, buy low, and a lot. Thank you for being here, KK. Please smash that like, guys. Let's get out this show to a broader base. I know there's other shows going on as we speak. But anyway, let's go further down. Mike is back. Welcome back, Mike. Hope all is well with you. Thoughts and prayers with you, for my friend. Thank you for being here. Boom. Crypto Homes 777 is in the house. Welcome back. If there's ever a Crypto Watson 777, we'll have to look more into that. Oh, give me just a second. I need to answer this. Hold on a second. Give me just a second, guys. Well, let me take up just a bit. All right, sorry about that. Let me go further down. CTN Larry's in the house. He says, yo, 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 yo. Glad to have you, Larry. Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk is in the house. Thank you, thank you. Also on top of that, we got the one, the only Mr. Brian Dowie is in the house. Selmo Fudd says, what up, CTN? Glad to have you as well, Mr. Selmo Fudd. Let me just double check this real quick. All right, just multitasking. Sorry about that. It won't be a big long delay. Everybody getting hit up at the time of the show has become a regular thing for some reason. Anyway. All right, so just trying to multitask. We'll get through it, but you know what? It's going to be good. Let's also welcome Brian Riley. GS is in the house. Thank you, both of you guys. Glad to have you. Brian Riley says, hi, Max and gang. Thank you so much. You're the guy that says BTC is headed to 12K. It's not headed to 12K, my friend, but that's all right. Menace says, quick hello, buy the dip. Hey, dong. What the heck? Is that the Coney Island reference again? All right, let's go further down. Welcome a few more of you guys. Mr. Lambos, Crypto Talk. Let's first of all see how we're doing on the likes. We are at 14 likes. We can do a lot better than that. He states the BTC to 12K opportunity came and went. It went down to 15K, true, after FTX. Inflation is waning and things are looking up. Well, I'm glad you pay attention, Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk. Thank you. All right, let me just double check a couple things, making sure nobody's freaking out over here. Nobody is. We're good. All right. Crypto Homes 777 said he bought the dip. XLM and XRP. Good stuff, man. Nice. Keep Stacking says, yo, XDC going ham. XDC is killing it. You know, another thing that happened over the weekend, we didn't have the show over the weekend. Shout out to you guys that own XSwap. Can we pull that up for just a brief moment? Let's take a look at XSwap, right? For you guys that are not familiar, there's, for instance, Pancake Swap from Binance. There's Uniswap, right? Well, what about XSwap for XDC? Let's show you guys that for a second. Just absolutely killed it over the weekend. I'll show you guys this for just a brief moment. Gets honorable mention. It's more than proven itself. I'm going to have to wait for it to drop down a little bit. I want to show you guys this. And oh my goodness. Oh my Lanta. Tough acting, tenactin. Right? Boom. Look at this for a second. Let's blow this up a bit. Not ellipsis. No, not that one. But the one right below it. XSwap from XDC. And heck, even XDC in itself, right? The native coin. But yes, both XDC, anything XDC really, absolutely killing it. But XSwap up 11.15%. XSwap was up over 260% earlier over the weekend. It was crazy. It dropped a little bit, but now on the 24th starting to do things, and even on the 1 hour starting to rebound from that, right? XDC up 3% on the hour, and about close to 10% 24 hours. 7-day chart. I mean, if you're Salamander, XDC Commander, you are more than happy about these gains. Globians gets honorable mention of 27% on the week. That's on a 24-hour, but really cool stuff. So glad to show that. Let's just keep that up there for a bit. All right. All right, let's go further down in the comments. Yep, keep stacking. Welcome. Hey guys, let's welcome Keep Stacking. I like that you have a Luna Classic avatar. I also like the idea that you like XDC. So welcome. Glad to have you here. Here's a dab from the metaverse, I guess you could say, to a sense. Let's see here. What's good? Printing on XDC right now, boys. Yep. Just gonna keep that as a bookmark for just a second. Just gotta double check something real quick. Oh man, where are we at on this? All right, I guess I didn't miss anything. That's good. All right, excuse me for a second. And what we're going to do now is going to read a few more comments. Glad you guys are welcome. Keep stacking. Always nice to welcome new people. All right. Yes, sir, I was. Nobody was talking about XDC, right? Nobody will talk about XDC right now. We always talk about XDC. We've been talking about XDC since, God, I don't know, May or June of last year, something like that. It's been a while. Glad to see XDC people, though. All right, let's welcome Magic Power. He says, hello, guten Tag, the Liechtenstein Exchange. Jasmine in the house. Welcome. All right. You're going bonkers right now. That's good. All right, let's see here. Scrolling down. Rawhide. Larry, how was that Barbie movie? Heard you liked to see more butt. What the heck? All right. GG says, or GS, you got the GS, the GG, and the KK. Wow. You guys should have like Mortal Kombat going on or something, you know what I mean? Like, Luna Classic versus Quant versus XDC begin. Anyway, I'm kidding. He says Tim G-Bex sounds bullish too. Weekly 6% burns. Yeah, that's good stuff. GG says WLD got up 200% on the day. Oh, you guys are talking about that new thing. I haven't had a chance to properly research it, but I am definitely aware of it. Didn't even know about this before today. UBI coming in the future. You guys having a conversation. We'll go to the bottom. Mr. Lambos, will 13,000 XDC get me to the promised land? Yeah, I think if you had a minimum of 10,000, should be more than good, but you have 13. So, I mean, on all this stuff, if you really think about it, right, it's not letting your emotions get a hold of you. It's finishing the marathon. It's literally how long you choose to hold these assets. I mean, come on. I mean, with all the talk about like XRP and XLM, July 20th was yet another example, and let me coming back in the frame, of XDC. March 20th was another example of XDC. So with that said, can we at least agree on this? Let's agree on this real quick. That basically speaking, that XDC, if we're talking about November of 2025, having everything fully implemented, we understand there's a difference between having things implemented and utilized, right? We talked about that. But next time around, when these crazy dates come, we should, if anything, pay attention to XDC the next time around, because 2 for 2 basically is where it's at. We're going to jump into the outline real quick. Let me just double check a couple things. Magic, Sie sprechen Sie Deutsch? Jawohl, burst. Okay. All right. Let's go into it. And what in the world do we have right here? Hold on a second. Somebody's asking me a question. All right. Let me just thank this person. All right. So let's jump into this outline and let's see what we got. All right. We're going to start things off with what's going on with the overall market. and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So if anything, I'm going to take this screen off. There we go. And this as well. All right. All right, here we go. Here's the report from Investor Place. And, if anything, if you still feel as though the Bitcoin is going to go to, BTC is going to go to 12K, you got to believe what you want to believe, and that's okay. All right, so here is the weekend update. I mean, I know it's Monday, but this is some good stuff that was reported over the weekend. There's a lot, of course, legislative concerns. We know about some of these things, right? The crypto markets fell flat this past week. We do know there was a lot of optimism in regards to what was going on with the BlackRock ETFs, so on and so forth. Some people feel as though that, what happened in June in regards to a Fed pause wasn't a true pause. If anything, we'll get into that. But basically speaking, I mean, there was all these things were erased and replaced by renewed caution about crypto legislative developments in the United States. Some of you guys have sent me some, great info in regards to what's happening here and so on. I have obviously shared quite a few things, what's happening abroad, in Japan, and, obviously with the EFFT. But this is a good statement. The crypto markets fell this past week, flat actually. Optimism about BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF filing was replaced by renewed caution. We talked about that. But as far as some of the ones that were worth paying attention to, basically speaking, Ethereum fell about 1%. Obviously, BTC. Some of our altcoins that we hold and talk about a lot. For example, Stellar plus 22%. Some of you guys do hold Chainlink. I get that, right? I do think there's at any moment going to be a great big FUD campaign, to say the least, but it's one of those things. Other altcoins struggled. Rocket Pool. Some of you guys own Phantom. Some of you guys own Render. And if anything, I'm not going to dismiss some of that. It was mixed, in regards to the crypto industry, but we think these mixed bag conditions could persist in the absence of regulatory clarity. Think about this for a second. So, like it also mentions, they believe that we are pushing into alt season. Let me just fix this real quick. And, I feel like we are, pushing into alt season. I feel like this is going to be that pullback that it could, very well be significant in the month of August. But, I do believe, just like it says, the altcoins should outperform the foreseeable future. Now, how so? Well, on the regulatory front, like it mentions, there's some updates. The Crypto Asset National Security Enhancement Act. I think some of you guys are paying attention to this because this is finally some of that U.S., regulatory introductions, right? We were always talking about DFFT, what's going on here domestically, right? So that act was introduced on Capitol Hill this week, which we see as being like neutral development for cryptos. On one hand, this is a regulatory framework, right? Just like we were talking about with DFFT, that has bipartisan support. So that's a good thing, right? We, as much as you might not like one party or the other, at the end of the day, nothing's going to get done if we always have them both clashing. So it says, the details on this act are not particularly bullish for cryptos, but they would like, for instance, this to not hinder crypto adoption and so on, right? Nobody wants a bunch of KYC. That was a thing that was so, popular about KuCoin and, for instance, MEXC, right? Were they not? So bottom line is this, right? There's a little bit more to this. It says financial innovation and technology for the 21st century was, of course, introduced on Capitol Hill, which we see as positive development for cryptos, right? So basically, if you haven't been reading up about some of this stuff, this act specifically would grant the crypto-friendly CFTC with more power, and the unfriendly, right, SEC, Mr. Gary Gensler and all them, less power, right? Seems like a win, right? Over regulatory matters in the crypto industry, and more importantly, would classify the vast major of crypto tokens as commodity. I thought I fixed that, but I'm sorry. And basically as commodities and not securities. This act, if passed, would obviously constitute a huge positive for the crypto industry. I agree. I think that's that's basically what we need. Let's jump back just real quick in regards to the whole thing with BlackRock. A lot of analysts have been looking into this, been scrutinizing the whole thing that happened with BlackRock. So it says while everyone was initially enthusiastic about the BlackRock filing, that was that enthusiasm basically was replaced by a healthy amount of skepticism last week, even with some of you guys, right? As multiple analysts are pointing out regulatory issues with the filing, overall regulatory developments in the crypto market, like price action itself in the crypto market, was mixed last week. Regulatory picture remains very unclear unless you're looking more deeply into what's going on with Japan and also what's going on in the European Union, right? We know that's very bullish for those areas. Until clarity is injected into the regulatory picture, the crypto rally will likely remain stalled. It's kind of mixed on this, right? But I'm going to go down to this part, right? The BlackRock ETF filing could get approved. One of the many one of the many crypto acts floating around Capitol Hill, like it says, could win strong support. The SEC could tone down its aggressive behavior against cryptos. I think, for one, you're starting to see a little bit of this already. Because what they have deemed in the past as being securities, this is why everybody made such a big deal about a Ripple win is a Ripple XRP win is a win for crypto, and the way that Judge Annalisa Torres obviously clamped down on things and gave her ruling. It's like, well, you not only saw good things happen with Ripple's XRP and Stellar and XTC and all this stuff, but literally like a whole bunch of other ones that were blanketed part of that list, Algorand, you name it. It says we view the odds of a positive breakthrough on the regulatory front over the next few months as fairly high and much, much higher than the odds of a negative breakthrough. That's why we think the fourth crypto boom cycle is still alive and well. Been talking about this boom cycle for quite some time, even when it wasn't too popular and people were saying, hey, Max, you're full of crap. And then there was times in which people thought things were very bullish and they're like, well, maybe you're onto something. Whatever the case be, it's not about that. For me personally, is looking at the data, making my own decisions. I feel as though, like, as much as I want to get into Casper right now, I feel as though the market is going to tank just that much more. And there's going to be even better buying opportunities in August. But like this, what it says also right here, they believe as an investor place that we will get better short term, just like I mentioned, altcoin buying opportunities over the next few weeks. And that basically is going to, break into the next month of August and so on. And they give us some things to, kind of look at, right, in regards to the chart and so on. It says that's because, technically speaking, it has become clear to us that BTC is following a textbook 2 steps forward, 1 step back price action pattern, which we've highlighted with the dashed orange line in the chart below. And we'll get into that in a second. For instance, we just took 2 big steps forward. Now we are clearly taking 1 step back. If the pattern holds, then BTC likely won't fully bottom until mid-August around 28,500. Right, a recent bottom. Nothing even hinting about a 12K drop. Why would it drop to 12K? And there was some kind of crazy black swan event, or maybe more wars, anything like that. No indicators of that happening, obviously. I have this as big as I possibly can make it without making it blurry and so on. Here's the chart. But basically speaking, just like you see on the screen, BTC seems to be following a 2-step forward, 1 step back price action pattern. We've showed you other metrics of why you have to pay attention to this, obviously. Some of you guys are still not going to agree with this, and it's okay. But, I do like this part right here. And it mentions specifically, that's why we think early to mid-August could be the best time to go on an altcoin shopping spree. At the end of the day, if you have better technical analysis, go with it. I'm just citing what's from Investor Place, but like I mentioned before, 9 times out of 10, they have been spot on. That's why I've renewed my membership to them and so on. They've been killing it on their portfolio. Great recommendations, especially when it came to audio, stellar lumens in the past and so on. The graph, I literally think the graph is like, the Google blockchain, basically. If you look more into it, I did post an update in regards to the graph, but like I said, until then, we are happy to own what we own today. I think some of us are, and some of us are also basically looking at what's going on in the market, what tokens and coins have had a significant pullback towards the price levels that you feel as though is worth DCA into. I'm glad you guys for the most part. From what I'm seeing, not everybody, right? Not allowing your emotions to get ahead of you and buying green candles, right? If anything, you want to acquire more. I understand, for some of you guys, you're like, well, I don't care because at the end of the day, I'm going to hold this for long term. Well, in that circumstance, I guess that's fine, but you always want to see your money go as far as you can possibly see it go, right? That's the bottom line. I will talk about this real quick, and this is something I don't normally do, but it's gonna basically have a little bit of focus. Celo, they propose migrating and becoming a layer 2 on Ethereum. Celo currently operates its own Ethereum-like blockchain, but could benefit from increased liquidity, better security, and more robust ecosystem. It becomes a layer 2. The proposal soon will be released for voting. I am going to show you just real quick what I have in regards to Celo real quick, because I think it's kind of interesting. It's not super long. I do know that some of you guys hold Celo, so I'm just going to take a brief moment to get into this, and I want to show you guys this because some of you guys have a lot of misinformation. No offense. I don't think everybody has misinformation, but some of you guys do. For some of you guys, you're going to look at this. The whole thing with Celo is like, great. Why would they do that? Why would you sacrifice speed for security, right? That's a great question, right? First of all, do you even understand the concept of layer 1 versus layer 2? That's the bottom line, right? So here at CTN, we always give you guys the news, but on top of that, we also give you some of the educational content. And bottom line is this, right? I want to show you guys this. So, it states right here about some of this stuff. And if anything, like it says, Ethereum network's resources, a layer 1 scaling solution is the original blockchain that runs Ethereum. We know some about this stuff, right? The process data, does it simultaneously. Ethereum will automate transactions on the underlying distributed ledger on the main blockchain network. The smart contract with the terms of agreement between buyer and seller is directly written to lines of code. This process network processes the automatic execution of the contract without the need for intermediaries, right? That's the bottom line, which can save time and reduce the risk of fraud. As we know, layer 1s have higher gas fees, right? But the bottom line is, what about the scalability? You guys are always talking about the scalability, right? Well, so there it is right here, right? So with the layer 2 type of solution, it says the consensus protocol improvement for the scaling solution is layer 2 of Ethereum, refers to additional consensus protocols and technologies built on top of the layer 1 blockchain. So just because this is going to go over to Ethereum doesn't mean that they're going to backtrack and go back to a layer 1. No, that'd be ridiculous, right? But it's totally a difference when it comes to liquidity. For when I saw more into this, if anything, it's like I think it was like with what Celo has on order, something like 90 million in liquidity. They go over to Ethereum, you're looking at like billions, right? So they look at it as an opportunity as far as security and just simply put liquidity, right? At the end of the day, it's a choice that they feel as though is just makes sense to them. Some people don't like the idea about this, but nonetheless, you got to see what's not just on the surface and not look at it like from the perspective of, oh, now they're going to get, you're going to get a whole bunch of high gas fees. I'll read this real quick. These transactions request protocols and technologies that are designed to improve scalability, speed, and efficiency on the Ethereum network by offloading some of the workloads from the main blockchain decentralized system. Some examples of layer 2 technologies on Ethereum include, you guys, I know you're invested in some of this stuff, Arbitrum, Optimism. I'm not into Boba or Baba, where you want to pronounce it, but yeah, I mean, there is consensus protocol, algorithms and improvements for scaling. I think that's one of the main points of, obviously having a layer 2, right? There's obviously underlying blockchain protocols on layer 1 versus layer 2. I'm not gonna get into all this stuff. But if you weren't aware of this, layer 2 transaction capacity is increased. Overall, the main difference between the Ethereum layer 1 and layer 2 is that layer 1 is the original blockchain network. Well, I just mentioned that earlier. While layer 2 basically is scaling solutions, and they're designed to improve the performance and scalability of the network. So as much as we may not like Ethereum for the most part, right? I think this is not as big of a deal as how it seems on the surface. It's not like Celo is literally going back to a layer 1 solution. That would be stupid, right? But nonetheless, there's people, of course, sharing a lot of misinformation about the whole thing. And if anything, I thought I'd bring it to you guys. So don't normally cover Celo. That's what's going on with Celo. I thought I would jump back into the comments, and if anything, we'll show you guys more about what we have on this outline. Please smash that like if you haven't done so already. And let me get into the comments just in a moment. I got to take a moment to answer this question real quick. Give me just a second. All right, sorry about that. All right, so going further down, let's see what else we got in the comments, just real quick. All right, I don't see anything that I missed, which is fine. But nonetheless, let me just double check. All right, I think we're good. I want to welcome a few more of you guys. Also want to welcome this guy, who is Lucio Fernandez. Analyzes the child support acronym CS rising much more, 1,800% listed on Bitmart and PancakeSwap. All right, well, welcome. All right, let's see here. Edward Vinson, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. Mr. Squidward, obviously killing it at what you do. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. Celo Max. Oh, okay. I always like to call it Celo. All right, so let's go further down. Crypto Home says QNT getting close to 139,000 holders on Etherscan. Yeah, some big milestones, right? Pretty cool stuff. I think it is. I don't know. Maybe some people feel as though it's not as cool as some people think, but it's always good to point out milestones. All right. If anything, give me a second. Let me fix this real quick. Let me see what I got. All right. Oh, man. There we go. There we go. All right. Sorry about the interruptions. All right. Let's read a few more comments. I think I also saw Simon Greco. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. Somebody tell Elon to use XRP for payments on XCOM. You guys, you ever wonder, like, for instance, like, instead of just saying specifically like XRP, maybe, because of the electronic documents, trade bills, and stuff like that, he literally is all about the X's, just like we are, and we just don't know about it. How cool would that be, right? All right, let's also welcome Ahmed. Glad to have you here, Mr. Ahmed. Boom. Boomer F Consumer says QNT 12 million supply. I wonder how long until you won't be able to buy any. Same with Bone, 130 million. Yeah, you make up some great points. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I think, at some point in the past, people used to say that about, BTCs, like they're going to get priced out of BTC. Like, I think, that's a great point. I mean, how long till we are priced out of QNT? It will happen. I mean, some people say, well, you don't know that. Like, I feel like I do. I mean, even though some people like may not be quant fans and so on, I mean, there's consistently so much big, like, I hate to use this term, right? Because the youngins always say it, right? But epic things going on with QNT, with quant network and so on. And then even like when there's doubters and so on, that you dive more into it and you learn more new things about it and so on. It just surprises. I think it surprised a lot of people. Simon Greco, welcome again. Good morning from the UK. Great show, great people. Thank you so much, Simon. Appreciate that. Let's see how we're doing the likes real quick. Got 29 likes. Please smash the like. All right. Want to welcome Michael Montclair. What's up, XRPers? Welcome, Michael Montclair. Boom. And let's see here. Shoot even Jasmine after lockup. There'll only be about 14 billion. Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, for all the projects that we put so much focus on, and we do it, I think we do it quite often, right? So we put focus on these projects where, these burns, what's going on with the burns and all this? It's like, all right, what about like not just lockups, but like from what we also seen on tokenomics, the institutional lockups, and how long are the institutions really looking to lock this up for? Is it more than just a few years, or is it like 5 years? I mean, we'll get more of that, hopefully that clarity from Hara or some of these other guys from the Jasmine management team, but I hope that they start to address some of it within the next few AMAs and so on, because I mean, I don't want it to be a situation where we're literally waiting to the end of the year to get an answer. But I will state this: I don't think it's going to be a lockup all at once, and I'm not the only person that feels as though it's not going to be a lockup that's all at once, right? I think you're going to get like big chunks over a duration of time going into 2026. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel about it. All right. Here's some good comments. Ahmed says they will lock up 36 billion Jasmine. I think it might actually be slightly more than that. Boomer says, shoot, Quant is your chance to go back in time to buy BTC at 105 while you can. Yeah, actually, if you want to be really technical, it's like going back in time to 2013 when BTC was roughly like $110, $113. But I get what you're saying. All right. Let's see what else we got up in here. We got Aussie Life. Morning, y'all. Morning, Max. Glad to have you. And let's just kick it back into the outline. Give me a second. I need to double check some questions real quick. Let me answer this guy real quick. So, give me a second. I'll mute this real quick. All right, sorry about that. I just got a multitask there. All right, so Aussie Life is in the house. He said, "What's up, Laz? Glad to have you, man. Really appreciate you. Need to keep working. Top up those quant bags. Yeah. All right. Glad you guys being friendly. Welcome everybody. That's good stuff. So let's kick it back to the outline. Please smash that like, and especially smash that like if you like some stellar content, because they got a ton of news today. Let's jump into the stellar Lumens XLM baby content that we have for you tonight. All right, we're going to start off with what we have here from the official stellar, believe it or not. So people wonder, like, is it just going to be a retweet from somebody? No, it's from the official stellar. All right, let's jump into this. And if anything, check this out. This is so cool. I'm going to show you guys this. You may not have been aware about it. So this was literally posted just a few hours ago, right? Pretty new for the most part. It says, we are excited to share Changera app. Now, if you're wondering who they are, right? Like I said, spend your money without limits with our physical and virtual cards available on the Play Store and App Store for complaints, send DM to, for instance, right? All right, so here's the key thing, right? I reported a while back, not that long ago, right? Like literally sometime last week, in regards to Wisdom Tree. Here's yet another one that is literally has an app ready to go, right? So yes, users can now cash in across Canada, Senegal, Uganda, Kenya, and cash out of their USDC balance at all supported MoneyGram locations. You can kind of say it's kind of like a MoneyGram update. Right? Another real world use case for Circle's USDC on Stellar. We've been talking a lot about USDC, right? So glad to share that with you guys. And if anything, I'm going to share a little bit more about this. I mean, you can kind of say it's kind of like another MoneyGram type of update, right? So let's share this. Make sure it's on the screen. And here we have it, right? Pretty cool looking, intro, I guess you say. It says, now your wallet or application can enable users to convert their physical cash into digital dollars and back. Isn't that the whole point of like what we were originally introduced when it came to cryptocurrency? That's how I took it when I was first introduced. And I'm sure for a lot of you guys, that's how you were thinking about cryptocurrency when you were first introduced it. You weren't thinking about like, oh, there's this one, Panda Pinu BS. They have utility in a year but basically if you provide on a pre-sale, like 2.5 ETH, you are promised an NFT that can be used on their future marketplace that currently has no utility and is not even made yet. But by all means, let's jump on board because there's a whole cult following. No, this is not. No, you are not introduced that. You are introduced basically what this concept is that you see on your screen. All right. So access users without bank accounts. Like, isn't that the whole point of supply and demand? Like what Stellar's been talking about for a while? I think it is. Stellar and MoneyGram are expanding global access to digital assets and financial services worldwide. We know this. Your application can now plug into MoneyGram's retail network with one integration. Not 2, 3, or 4 or 5. Oh, you got to swap here. I got to do this here. I got to hold so much Ethereum to do this. No. Again, like if you're explaining cryptocurrency to like your grandpa or your grandma and so on, they literally are thinking about what is defined, literally what we have here. And I would think that if you try to explain any bit more than that, it's just going to tie their brain in a knot, right? And even for some of you guys or newcomers, it probably tie your brain in a knot right now. It says letting your users deposit or withdraw cash from their digital wallets via Stellar USDC without needing a bank account. Again, when we talk about the the underprivileged or underserved countries of the world and so on, what did we mention earlier? Right? Senegal, Uganda, Kenya. Some great examples. So we're going to play this for you real quick. I think some of you guys have seen this video, but whatever the case be, it's pretty cool. So it's not that long. Smash that like for some Stellar and for this MoneyGram update. Here we go.
Introducing MoneyGram Access, a global network of cash to crypto on and off ramps, activated by MoneyGram and built on Stellar. With one integration, your wallet or fintech application can connect to MoneyGram Access, giving your users and the unbanked an entry point into new financial services with the power to deposit or withdraw cash from their digital wallets using USDC, a fully reserved dollar digital currency. Here's how it works. When you integrate with MoneyGram Access, your users can walk into one of hundreds of thousands of participating MoneyGram locations across the globe and turn their physical cash into crypto, or their crypto into cash in hand, all within your existing app. No bank account or credit card required. Users just enter the amount of crypto or cash they want to deposit or collect, fill in basic information, and then visit a participating MoneyGram location. From users without bank accounts aiming to safeguard their cash, to those looking for an entry point into crypto, your application can offer users a spectrum of financial services. Just integrate one API to access a network of new markets, new users, and the global cash economy. Visit stellar.org/MoneyGram to learn more.
All right. But wait, there's more, right? So let's jump into a little bit more what we have in regards to this. And, I think it's worth sharing. I mean, some people may feel as though like, it's not that big of a deal. Well, I think it is a big deal. And of course, that's why we're sharing it with you guys today. All right, so let's pull this up. And I had to kind of refresh this in a different way. All right, so here we go. Straight from the MoneyGram access. And again, some of you guys are kind of like, you already know MoneyGram like the back of your hand, right? But this is cool stuff, right? It's kind of like the educational side because, again, for me, when I was first introduced to the concept of cryptocurrency, this is what I'm talking about right here, right? Can I use this to basically go down and, like eventually buy groceries with it and so on, right? That pathway forward to reaching some of these goals, right? But check this out. Is some of this starting to finally come into motion? I think so. So cash in, cash out. Like I said, step one, users enter the amount of USDC they want to purchase. Number two, users provide their information and select a MoneyGram location for cash payment, all within the wallet application. True. Number three, users exchange their cash for USDC at the selected MoneyGram location. One integration, multiple benefits. Not, oh, I got to jump through a bunch of hoops. If you have to jump through a bunch of hoops, nobody's going to do that. So new payment services enable your users to top up their digital wallet balance with cash transactions, reach new customers. I think, on some of these metrics of what they're talking about with, crypto adoption and so on, Stellar obviously definitely stands out for some of these key things. Some of you guys that are into leveraging and so on, leverage your Stellar on USDC. Use one of the fastest growing dollar digital currencies for near instant, low cost cash transactions. There's obviously easy implementation. We were at the beginning of the show, we were talking about, like what's going on with, some of these platforms or this new bill that's being introduced, right, here in the United States in regards to that regulatory framework, right? And one of the things was like, well, some people are kind of weary about it because, you don't want to damper crypto innovation with too much KYC. That kind of defeats the purpose of decentralization, does it not? Well, like it says right here from Stellar, right, through MoneyGram, for instance, your users can complete KYC and confirm transactions through MoneyGram's user-friendly interface in your app. So a little bit of that KYC, but not to a degree where it's like the most strictest. Like, what's the point of using this type of thing? What about the access on the Stellar network, right? Access new financial services and customers through Stellar's Anchor network. And of course, look at all the key partners. I've heard some of you guys mention in the comments to use the Lobster wallet quite a bit. A lot of us, for instance, might prefer the pairing of Tether's USDT, but who hasn't used the USDC pairing at some point and so on? Some of you guys may even prefer that. So there's obviously some other names here and so on. But glad to show this with you. And if anything, I'm going to jump to the next part of what we have. And on this next part, again, this is a Sorbonne update. So I want to show this to you because you know what? I really feel as though Sorbonne, like I mentioned before last week and so on and so forth, I'm going to keep pounding home. Sorbonne is absolutely like the master key, if you will, that needs to be turned to, unlock this potentially new vibrant ecosystem. If Cardano holders were so gung-ho about, yeah, I hold Cardano, and I hold Cardano still, but just hear me out. I hold Cardano because I believe in the long-term vision of this vibrant quality ecosystem. Telling you flat out, when it comes to Sorbonne, it's literally just like that, like I mentioned before, Matrix Reloaded, find the guy with, the key maker, if you will, right? Who's going to literally open this whole ecosystem. 70, remember that report we got? 70 will literally come on to this ecosystem. And they're still trying to, obviously have more devs come into it and so on. So I want to show you guys this real quick because I think this is a big deal. So it says, no secret, we're big fans of Rust. And again, this is a new thing that was reported on the 24th today. Literally, I don't know, about 10 hours ago. It says, we have put together a guide to Rust development for the new devs exploring Sorbonne. Now, I'm not going to get into all the nerdy stuff that you don't understand. But if anything, I'm going to highlight some key things I feel as though that we should pay attention to. So let's say you don't know about Sorbonne. You're not a dev. I'm not a dev either, right? I mean, yeah, I've done mod development for video games and stuff like that, but that doesn't count, right? So why do developers use Rust for smart contract development? That's the bottom line, right? So here's some of the key areas. We won't show all of this, right? But just some of the key spots. Rust's impressive memory safety features without garbage collector, like I was talking about earlier, right? One of the key things is they solve this problem of a memory bug, right? The example I was mentioned earlier, you have a certain application, but it has a memory leak. That's horrible because depending on how much memory you have on, like, for instance, the server, that memory leak, cause scalability problems because, for one, it also means you're going to throttle the network. Can't have that, right? Especially when it comes to Stellar. So, yeah, this impressive memory safety feature without garbage collector, funny name, make it a solid choice for developing smart contracts. Its stringent compiler enforces discipline, minimizing common mistakes, which make that happen, I should say, during development. Rust also supports these advanced type systems and enables more accurate compile checks, leading to more secure smart contracts. So bottom line, if you have any experience with this, it's like you write code. After you write the code, you have to compile in, like, for example, like in an executable, right? And then from the executable, when you go to basically run the program, it doesn't necessarily have to be an executable, but click to run the program. Is this program going to actually be able to run, or upon launch, does it just crash, right? They have things in place for that. That's a good thing. How does Rust compare to Solidity, right? You guys might know about Solidity. Just hear me on a second for this. So it basically mentions that when it comes to blockchain development, the choice of a programming language can make or break your project. True. That's why it's time to put the spotlight on Rust and see how it stands up against Solidity. And that is a go-to language, if you're wondering about that, for many blockchain developers. Rust is like a well-oiled engine or machine. Think about this analogy. This is good stuff. Trouting a trifecta of speed, security, and robustness that is hard to match. It's not just about ticking off the basics, though. Rust goes the extra mile with its unique advantages. And of course, they said, let's take a look at why it stands out. Is Rust safe? Yes, it's more than safe, right? They have these real key things, right? And to highlight it, right? They have an ownership system. It doesn't require a bunch of garbage collection, which greatly reduces memory and overhead and non-deterministic behavior. Rust also prevents null pointer differencing and data races, making code much safer. I know it sounds nerdy, but think about how it sounds. It makes code that much safer. Well, Celo, like we mentioned earlier, it jumped ship, basically, is joining Ethereum because it's supposed to be more safer. But of course, bottom line is they want more of that liquidity. But if you create a platform on which devs just simply can understand that, man, this is easy to code on, and on top of it, it's more safer and less buggier, that is really, really attractive, because at the end of the day, that means that instead of them sorting through a bunch of code, endless code, to sort out a bunch of bugs, they can continue to build and thrive and get the job done faster, right? We'll talk about scalability. Like, if you have devs, they're going to be able to come in and not have to focus so much on working out a bunch of bugs. That's a win for your blockchain. These features are invaluable in smart contract development, as they are drastically reducing the likelihood of encountering a fatal bug, like I mentioned earlier, right? It's not just about bugs, but a fatal bug. Nobody wants, like, for instance, Solana going down. Let's just be honest. Or vulnerability that could be exploited by malicious actors. All right, I'm not going to get into this part about other languages or the thing about Rust, but here is something that, I like right here, right? It says build a smart contract on Sorbonne, because we're on this topic of Sorbonne. Then we'll kick it back in the comments just here in a bit. Just hear me out. It says, for instance, if you were wondering about Sorbonne, they are a smart contract platform that puts all this stuff we talked about Rust coding at center stage, designed with an intense focus on scalability, like I mentioned before, user-friendly interfaces. And the bottom line is Sorbonne is continually innovating, right? And it's an test net. Watch out when the mainnet launches, and watch out when you see basically a whole ecosystem of 70 plus, like we showed you guys last week. If you're new to our channel, it was mentioned that there's going to be on basically 70, they're going to be unlocked for this ecosystem. That's really, really big, because like I mentioned also, all it takes is just maybe a couple handful, not even that, to join this stellar ecosystem, to be, as the saying goes, the ones. Perfect example is with what happened with Cardano with ASIC, Singularity Net. That's a key quality standout project. We were covering that since last summer, 2022, roughly around 4 to 5 cents. And that thing went up, I believe, all the way up to like, 55, 60 cents. So a lot of people did very, very well with that. All right. We have some more stellar news for you guys. But before I kick it into that, I want to show you guys, or, get into the comments. So please smash that like. And if anything, let me just double check something so I didn't miss any questions. All right. Let's see here. All right, let me answer this guy real quick. All right, hold on a second. Let me mute myself real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to just take just a moment. I got to multitask here. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, so if anything, I'm gonna hop back in the comments. Thank you for being patient with me. It didn't take too long. And let's welcome a few more of you guys. All right. So let me turn on this fan real quick. It's starting to get kind of hot in this part of the house. I don't know how it is where you guys are at, but man, it could get pretty toasty. All right. Let's see what we got up in here. I want to welcome this guy. His name is Token7. Hello, everyone. Welcome, Token7. Glad to have you here. Appreciate you. And if anything, guys, please give everybody a warm welcome, especially newcomers. All right. Going further down, Stump Rider is back. He says, "Hi, Max, the CTN fan. Thank you for being back." I don't know if you guys noticed, my other headset, it broke. It just, the corner part right here, it just snapped. Always have that problem with those Logitechs. They literally last maybe about a year, and I have to get a new one. I've gone with other brands. I always like that brand the best for the sound and the quality on the mic if I was to game it up. These are bad quality on the microphone, and then the earphones, I can hear a little bit, but basically speaking, it's like, I don't know, explain it. It's just not really great quality, but it's enough. It's good old reliable, if you will. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's where I'm going with that. So I already ordered my new headset. It's basically the same one that you saw before, the black and white, but it'll be here later. All right, let's go further down. Yeah, XLM. Glad you guys like it. The Ghost is back. John Francis. Good evening, Max Aroni. Stuck a Coney Island in his hat and called it Maxaroni. That's horrible. I'm kidding. All right. We have the Meats Baby. Yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, that's good stuff. You're chilling at work. You're crying. Oh boy. All right. Ahmed says MoneyGram should advertise the ish out of this at their locations worldwide. Yeah, and that's one of the complaints that people get when it comes to, or have when it comes to Stellar. Not enough of the marketing, right? I guess you could complain about that with Jasmine too, not enough marketing. So, of course, there's reasons for that and so on. So, but not mistaken, isn't Stellar nonprofit, and that's why they don't do it? I think so. I think that was the reason. All right. Let me see what else we got. Ahmed says, I love XLM, but the lobster wallet looks weird. Some people use it on a daily basis, unless you're just talking about like you don't like how the logo looks. Dismiss the logo. It's all about what they provide, right? Let's also welcome April Cornwell. She says, yo, everyone. Welcome, April. Glad to have you. Is April. All right. Ghost says, I was in TV in Sydney. Accidentally saw some beautiful blonde. I stopped with you on the street at a museum. Wanted to dress into a mummy outfit for 50 AUS dollars. I did it, but she said I was on some show I have and I have to wait for it to have you finish. What the heck? Leave us in suspense. Oh, you have the contract. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, you missed the news about that. We shared it at the very beginning, but that's okay. And it's not the worst news in the world. If you were the type of guy, you're like, oh my God, it's going to go 12K. It's not going to go to 12K. I'm telling you flat out, it's not going to go to 12K. I mean, there's always going to be that one guy saying, oh, it is. It's going to 12K. You know how long we've been talking about this? There's always that one guy, though. Let's go to 12K. Do you have anything to back that up? Oh, it's just going to 12K. I'm telling you guys, it's going to 12K. All right, then. Well, welcome. Glad that you're here, Anyway. All right, so April Cornwell says, nope, just here for support. I hold no crypto, but the hubbies. Yeah, well, I mean, you're more than taken care of, right? Wesley Jacob, following, you mean discounts galore. Good point. Michael Montclair says, I'm not sure I want any rust on my Stellar. Oh, jeez. That's a good one. All right, welcome to the Crypto Jedi. Anyway, I can't do the voice. Anyway. All right, Wesley Jacob, don't get emotional over it, dude. If you believe in the project and the utility in the future, then you should know exactly where the money is going. That's a good point. All right. Uh-oh. Back and forth. Papa Doc, what you going to do? Oh, boy. Yeah, that's between you guys right now at this point. All right. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Let me see if you message me back with the info. Let me see what we got. All right, I'll just send this to this dude. Hold on a second. All right. All right, cool. Thank you, Mr. Cornwall. All right. Let me see what else you guys got in the comments. Max, I purchased one QNT on Saturday. Oh, good. Very good, man. I mean, you know what? If you got to do one, at least it's one full one. That's good, man. I'm glad to hear that. You're not doing like, BTC slivers or anything like that. That's good. Boom. Shout out to your one, right? We have the meats. All right. That was I know. You gotta keep in mind, I'm multitasking. I'm just trying to quickly go through some things. And sometimes it's just like my mind is all over the place right now, not scattered, but it's just there's a lot more things going on lately. All right. So let's jump back into the next part that we have for Stellar. And if anything, I think that you guys are going to enjoy this. XTC is good today. Yeah, it's good stuff. Especially if you hold XSP. You guys have more than proven XSP to me. I was in the past deciding, I'm like, yeah, should I go with GBEX or XSP? Actually, I think the answer is both. But man, XSP, man. I mean, wow. I'm gonna wait for a pullback, and then I'm finally gonna get a bag of that. To be honest, I'm totally sold on XSP. All right, smash that like. Let's get into it. Let's see how we're doing on the likes. We're at 45 likes. Thank you so much. Did kind of have a drop off. I don't know if it's because people are like, oh, you stop talking about Stellar, I'm out of here. But what they don't realize is that we have some more. But wait, there's more. And it comes from the one, the only Cypress Domenicore. This is good stuff. So let's play this for you guys. And he states 16 trillion in tokenized assets by 2030. Oh, Max is doing another 2030 example. Well, I'm not the only guy. I did that example about QNT by 2030. 15, in my opinion, what was it? 282 billion dollars alone off for QNT right into the metaverse, and that was 2.85% of $8 trillion, which comes out to be about the market cap currently of Ethereum, which would put QNT at 15K just off of that. Now, before you shoot me and say, well, no, it's going to be way higher than that. I understand that. I'm just saying based off of just the metaverse alone, right? So check out that video if you haven't done so already. It's in the recorded video section. That's why we do some of those things. All right. So let's jump back into this. Again, like you mentioned, Cypress Domenicore, give him a follow. Great content creator, lots of research. All right. From Cypress or Cypress Superior Trading. So yeah, these tokenized assets by 2030 is exactly why they don't want you involved. Who are they? The cool club of rich bigwigs? Seems like it, right? Stellar's involvement, institutional connections, global liquidity, and financial freedom for all. What is this all about, Mr. Domenicore? All right, well, let's go ahead and play this. Smash that like. Here we go.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good weekend. Got some good CyberX research for you with some stellar connections. We got this company, Securities. If you go up to the top of their website, it says global liquidity and financial freedom for all. Yet they're still trying to keep this secluded from mainstream media outlets. Why? Because they know what's coming. Powering the global digital asset marketplace. We see right here they're projecting $16 trillion in digital assets tokenized by 2030. We also see 77% of these financial institutions agree most securities will be digitized in the next 5 to 10 years. On their website, it says this particular security platform meets the high regulatory liquidity and performance requirements of market-leading financial institutions. On the bottom of their website, you can see right here their partners, and it says Stellar, paying attention. Now, also, what else do we see them talking about? The securities capital market platform. It says, by harnessing the power of blockchain technology to automate compliance and streamline financial transactions, Security is helping financial institutions overcome capital markets and challenges to unlock the value of digital assets. Pay attention to detail. They're going to continue to try to fudge you out because, again, they know what's coming. We also see them talking about their platform description, hyper scalable, secure blockchain infrastructure. Remember, we've talked about them building the new financial infrastructure. This is part of it. We see right here, the microservices-based architecture easily plugs into popular distributed ledgers such as Ethereum virtual machine-based ledgers and Stellar. Interoperability among ledgers is enabled through a series of unique patent bridges that allow tokens to easily move across digital ledgers and legacy systems while retaining their inbuilt compliance characteristics. This is absolutely massive. Beautiful, stellar connection. Happy Sunday. Hope you all are alive and thriving. Be cognizant, be aware out there, be safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
All right. Good stuff from Cypress Domenicore, right? Connecting all of this together and so on. So, of course, there's a lot more that we have. I'm telling you flat out, if you wanted some stellar coverage, today's the day for stellar coverage. I'm telling you flat out. Usually it's like you got to wait maybe a week. Maybe you get like one little, tidbit, and people are like, wow, man, some stellar. But today takes the cake. All right. No pun intended. So shared a little bit from Cypress Domenicore, which is cool stuff. I want to share a little bit more of what we have. And basically speaking, I think I'm almost to it. Give me a second. Oh, yes. Here we go. This is good stuff. So let's jump into this. Let me put some more of the banners back on and so on, because sometimes when I play a video, I don't want to have a bad overlay. But, yeah, let's pull this up. There we go. Okay. So on this one, it's another one that was reported this morning straight from the Stellar org Twitter, the official one. Let's share this with you guys. All right. So like it says, let me come back in the frame. It says calling all wallets. Remember that show from the 1960s called Calling All Cars or whatever, or Car 54, calling all cars, Car 54, where are you? Anyway, calling all wallets and fintechs. Join the Stellar Development Foundation, SDF, and MoneyGram tomorrow, July 25th at 9 a.m. If you're choosing to, get into this, right? There's going to be a big reveal. That's the bottom line. The MoneyGram Access Marketing Awards Program. So we gave you that MoneyGram update earlier in the show. We gave another MoneyGram update like roughly a week or two ago. Now there's this new thing, and that is, like it says, MoneyGram Access Marketing Awards program for wallets and fintechs. Wars? That sounds kind of cool, right? Everybody wants to get some awards. So let's jump into this for a brief moment. And after this, of course, we have some other news to get into. But here it is. And it goes into detail about this. In fact, they even updated the timestamp, right? Like it says, July 25th, 2023, 12 p.m. Eastern virtual. For me, that's like 9 a.m., right? There's going to be a few key people here. Mike Fletcher, who is the head of product marketing. But basically speaking, the reason why I want to show this to you guys is because, for one, this is going to break down some things. They're going to talk about what is this marketing awards program, like basically what it's about and so on. And then probably by maybe tomorrow night, I could give you like some key little things that were chopped up about it. They're going to talk about, for instance, how this improves the actual wallets, right? Who doesn't want an improved wallet, right? And fintechs that go live with the standard onboarding window. And of course, who are eligible to receive up to, listen to this guy, $50,000 for marketing support. So this is a big deal in my opinion. And again, hopefully, if they don't chop it up, I'll at least try to watch the whole thing, and I'll try to chop it up for you guys and give it to you and so on. But that's basically it from right there, because we don't have the info yet. It's tomorrow morning. But a lot's going on with Stellar, man. Who's going to complain about this? So, I honestly think it's a pretty darn big day for Stellar. And rightfully so. It's been a big last couple weeks for Stellar. So glad to show you guys that. Just going to read a few more comments, and then we're going to get into the brief bit that we have for this Ripple XRP news. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh my. I cannot believe what I just seen. This is unbelievable. This is really, really something. Oh my goodness. I have to do a proper thing for this. Yes, you know what I'm talking about if you've been a longtime CTN fan. My goodness. Thank you for tuning in. I have some breaking news to report. The one, the only, Rain has returned from the depths of hell. Yes, he said that he would not show back to our platform until 2024, but he is here today, plagued with lots of problems, with his ears ringing at least twice a week, with no explanation why. Seeing his doctor frequently, with crazy trips to the doctor, telling him, "Doc, I don't understand. My ears have been ringing something fierce, and for some reason, it's at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific." And his doctor not having any solutions whatsoever, and basically asking him, "Ryan, could it be due to the mud butt?" And Ryan saying, "No, it's not that." But the truth of the matter is, he's back today. Welcome back, everybody, to the one, the only Ryan. Mud Butters Unite. Boom. So for some of you guys that are new, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? It's an inside joke. But glad to see you, Ryan. Glad to see you, man. Unbelievable. You said you want to be back until 2024, and here you are. Let's welcome him back. The one, the only Ryan. Let's see this. Rain 2024 should be bullish as F. Brian Dowie says hashtag mudbutt, man. Absolutely. Let's look at this. Boomer F is sooner. Vaseline, hashtag mudbutt. Yes. Look at this. Rain missed us. Toilet paper in the house. Pepto-Bismol. Brought diet, freaking castor oil. Rain, you got to comment some more than just this, man. But anyway, Rain says, Tim, any new upcoming 2024, please? Well, I'm glad to see you, Rain. Glad to have you here, man. I was wondering about you. But can you at least tell us this, if you're still listening, Rain? Did your ears, have they been ringing like more than often? Just be honest, man. It's okay. All right. Going to go further up into the comments. Yes. Thank you, Rain. That's awesome, man. Glad to see you. All right. GG says love XRP under $1, XTC under 12 cents, XLM under 30, Algo under 30, VET under 10, QNT under 225, DAG under 10. All right. What is the news? I was off the road long. Huh. I can't believe you're back, Rand. That's so cool, man. That's awesome, man. You said you want to be back to 2024. I hope that you continue to come back. All right. Gluteus Maximus got the meats. That's right. Yeah, that's not going to happen, man. Anyway. All right, Senior. Good evening, Max. Glad to have you. God, I miss you guys. Well, thanks, Rain. You rock, dude. All right. We'll say it in a nerd voice. Oh my God, my watermelon plant just went to water them and they are flowering. I'm having watermelon. No, I'm kidding. That's cool. Watermelon sounds good, but you want to know something? Yuma, Arizona has the world's best watermelon. Do I live in Yuma, Arizona? No, but they do. You know, if people are all gung-ho about Idaho potatoes, they should be gung-ho about what? Yuma watermelons. There's a difference. All right. Welcome to Valvez, by the way. He says, hey, what up? What's up? Well, I'm glad to have you. Thank you. All right. So I went a different way to read the comments that time, but that's okay. I'm glad I'm glad that you guys got all the, like this one. This is good. You know, toilet. What's that? Toilet, butt wipe, toilet, butt wipe, toilet, butt wipe, poo, poo, poo. My God. All right. Yeah. Some of the newcomers don't understand what we're talking about, but it's an inside joke. I got the anti-mud butt solutions. Max Show ran that hot dog. Oh, my God. I don't know about that. He might never come back, man. I don't think he's going to come back if that's the case. Muddy Buddy. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Muddy Buddy. Butt free zone. Hit the like, peeps. Yes, thank you. Hey, T. Lens, welcome back. Glad to have you back. Okay. Jeez. Rain in the mud butt. Rain, I hope you're still here, man. Just hope you're still here. You know, it takes some courage to just basically go on, you know, in the comments and just admit to mud butt, you know, but you did it. You did it, man. Anyway. All right, we're going to get back into the outline here in a bit. The Ghost says, what was that show, Max? Rocky and Bullwinkle? Oh, man, you want to talk about Bullwinkle? I mean, I guess I will welcome us all back, you know. And on today's show, kids, we got the wonderful Rain, Boomer F and Sooner, Brian freaking Dowie, Tim Shea. Shut the hell up, you freaking moose. Shut the hell up, you stupid squirrel. If I want you to reference me, I will tune in to Max and Larry on the Max and Larry show. Anyway, that's my Bullwinkle. All right. Haven't done the Bullwinkle in a while. Let's get back into the outline. All right, here we go. So enough about all that stuff, right? Like, it probably scares some people away. All right, so if you've ever watched Rocky and Bullwinkle, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so we shared some Stellar with you guys. That was cool stuff. We're going to jump into some Ripple XRP. This comes straight from Ripple, all right? This is not me retweeting anybody's stuff. This comes straight from Ripple, all right? And if anything, it's worth sharing. So let's get into this. And this was reported today. All right, here we go. On this one, and let me come back into the frame. It basically mentions a few key things. And let me see here. Where are we at? All right. Yeah, I was just trying to make sure that I was good with this person that was answering a question too. All right. Smash that like for some Ripple XRP. Ripple themselves reported this yesterday. It says our survey found over 70% of global finance leaders say their confidence in the crypto industry increased in the past 6 months, and 50% plan to leverage crypto for payments. Now, do you don't think that's going to create, some people would say like a price shock or even a supply shock, a little combination of the both? Yeah, I think it will. To find out what is driving this optimism, download, of course, the 2023 New Value Report if you choose to do so. But in the meantime, we're going to play this. This is a minute. This is pretty cool. And it's straight from Ripple. What's there not to be excited about? Smash that like. Here we go.
There's no doubt that 2022 was a momentous year in the world of crypto and blockchain. But even in spite of market turbulence, there's confidence in utilizing these underlying technologies for business applications. Our global survey found that more than 70% of finance leaders say their confidence in the crypto industry has actually increased in the past 6 months. And over half of these enterprise respondents plan to leverage crypto for payments. So what's driving this optimism? One thing's for certain, there is growing consumer demand and interest in crypto and blockchain technology, signaling a shift towards more mature, real-world use cases for financial institutions and businesses. For an exclusive look at other crypto for business trends, read more in Ripple's 2023 New Value Report.
So just real quick and to the point, but you know what? That's a feel-good moment, I mean, I like seeing things like that, It's not just about the Ripple win and so on, but yeah, what does this report show? That in itself to me sounds bullish, because let's face it, we had this crash today, and some people are basically not a lot of people, but some people are letting their emotions get ahead of them. And for me, it's like, this is why we do these shows called Dyor with Max, or sometimes you guys watch some other channels. I will go shout out to Crypto Hulk, right? He might not like all communities, but he's great with the research. The point is this, it's the research. If you are convicted, like, to what you've read about or viewed about and comprehending that, and you're like, you know what? You say to yourself, I'm not going to let my emotions destroy my potential generational future wealth. I'm not going to let that get in the way based off of current market conditions and so on. Like, there's a reason to properly research projects and so on, because if anything, it is a buy and a hold for some of these things. Yes, there's some things we obviously should take profits on and so on, but there's other ones that's just a long-term buy and hold. And for people that just want to like throw that all away because they let their emotions get ahead of them, it's sad. This thing is an absolute, in my opinion, it's a long race. It's a marathon. Hence why I think on the last Q&T video, I put that thing at the end, stay the course. I don't know if anybody watched it from all the way from beginning to end, but that's the way I look at it. All right. I want to welcome Baton Genyo 00101 because the first 00100 were taken. He's giving us dabs. Thank you so much for being here. And that was a great Bullwinkle. You like that? I'm glad you like that. All right. Crypto Talk Now says, Max, play the new Shorts Bro, Max and Larry commercials. Okay, sure. Larry is the Rocky. Oh, yeah, shut the hell up, you stupid squirrel. Dang it, Bullwinkle. If Larry's saying for you to show the freaking show, you should do it. Shut the hell up, you stupid squirrel. All he's showing is a bunch of bros at Hooters. Everybody knows he should take his little sorry little butt down to the tilted kilt. But Bullwinkle, tilted kilt charges a little bit more, and the boobies are a lot bigger. Shut the hell up, you stupid squirrel. He's on a budget. All right, there we go. I don't know why I'm doing this. Anyway, all right, so let's get more into this. My bad. I don't know. I do my Rocky and Bullwinkle every once in a while. They never say shut the hell up, you stupid squirrel, but glad to bring that out, my old improv side of me. I used to be on an improv team many years ago, back in 2007. And then I did a lot of stuff locally, and I don't know, I kind of miss it, but I had a lot more free time back in those days, and I was a lot younger, so it is what it is. All right, we're going to share these shorts from YouTube shorts from Larry. Oh, man, he has a few. He's got 3 of them. Okay, cool stuff, man. I think I've seen 2 of them, so that's cool. All right, so let's jump into the first one. This is the one I've been told is some people's least favorite, but to each his own. Let's be nice, right? So let's start one things off with this one. Here we go. Oh boy, hold on, let me refresh that. Here we go.
Make sure you guys watch Crypto Talk Now every night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay, hold on. Every night at 9 p.m. Okay, make sure you guys. Sorry.
You can say, we're going to put that in the video. We can do a blooper reel, maybe.
Okay. Every night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Every night at 9 p.m. Eastern with Max and Larry. Make sure you guys watch Crypto Talk Now every night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
All right, hold on a second. Let me go to the next one. There's another one. All right, let's show this. And here it is.
What's your name? Hey, I'm Larry. Play a little game. It's called Crypto, Cash, or Scratch. We're going to give you a choice of, we'll give you like a really super nice tip, or we'll give you an opportunity to have a little bit of Bitcoin, or what we'll do is we'll give you the scratch off. Which one would you want? Big tip? All right, well, we'll also give you these 5 scratch offs. Hopefully you're lucky. Hopefully you win. Did you get anything? No? So what you're going to do, like if you win like $1,000, you know? Say something. No? I have my glasses, sir. Nothing?
Nothing.
That you can feel if you go to Mr. Beast casting. Yeah.
All right, we'll still make it good.
Make sure you watch Crypto Talk Now every night, 9 p.m. Eastern with Max and Larry.
What's your name?
All right, that was a good one with Larry and Shaniqua. And let's see here. Here's another one. Let's jump into it. 1 second. Let me pull it up. All right, here's the final one. I don't think I've seen this one. So let's go ahead and play this one. And here we go.
Hey, what's your name? Hey, Key, I'm Larry. So we'll give you a little bit of Bitcoin, or you get the choice of a couple scratch off tickets.
Let's do scratch.
All right, so first one.
$1.
Oh, cool. Here.
I don't think so. No, I don't think on that one. No, on this one either. No, on this one either. No.
Full name.
Lakeisha.
Oh, Lakeisha.
Lakeisha.
Oh, we'll try this one.
I would love that. No, I would love that. No.
Yeah.
I don't know how many.
There you go. We got.
$2. Oh, $4. 16, 18.
I gotta get you some more. All right. So you're at 23. So you're at 20. Try this. Last one. Try this. Last one. $3.
Quick $22. Yay, guys. Make sure you watch Crypto Talk Now. Max and Larry.
Max and Larry.
All right. Thank you to Mr. Larry and his nephew. Thank you very much. All right. So let's go further down, and we got some interesting comments. Okay. I already read that. Yeah. You know, Larry's the Rocky. All right. XDC just reached 6 cents on KuCoin. It did? Wow. All right. Let's pull that up for a second. Let's see what we got. 6 cents on KuCoin, huh? Just about. I mean, like, can't quite round it off yet, but yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, let's pull it up, man. KuCoin, the one, the only. All right. Yeah, that's something else, man. Not too shabby. There you go. I mean, It's just about 6 cents. That is pretty cool. Yeah, not too bad. Leave it up there for a bit while we go through some more comments. Brian Dowie's laughing. All caps. Show the girls, bro. Patrick Collier is having a good time. Max, can you do a Donald Trump impersonation? I really wish I could. If I could do a Donald Trump impersonation, you know, we would have like probably like 1,000 people watching all the time. I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. But you get what I'm saying. It would be cool. The only ones I can do is like, what is it? Like I only do like a couple words from like Reagan, you know, like, well, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall, you know, or we, the people, United States of America, find the defendant, Mr. Shel Moffat, guilty on all charges of conspiracy to launch nuclear missiles to Cuba. All right. Let's see here. Invest in some microphones. Yeah, he mentioned he was going to do that. All right. The Ghost, aka John Francis, says, I don't mean to brag, I don't mean to boast, but I butter those biscuits faster than a rock on a breakfast toast. Work it out. Oh, baby Bubba. No, I'm kidding. Then on rye. I had to add that in there. All right. Now we see why you don't have any crypto, Larry. He has some crypto. He has XRP. He has some Quant. He has some H-bar. All right, let's move on. All right. Keep Crypto Talk Now. Keep showing the babes, bro. We need ratings. Oh boy. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to up your game on it. All right, Juan Rogel. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Juan Rogel, man. Hey Max, do you have any update on Jasmine Q4? Well, I don't. I saw somebody recently talking about it and so on. And if anything, you know, I'm not going to BS you guys when it comes to that. Once I got something solid about that, you better believe I'm going to report on that because that's juicy stuff to obviously share. But I do think that, you know, as the months go further along, it's just kind of like that thing. I don't know if it's necessarily like kick the can down the road. I mean, they might have some reasons for not disclosing that all yet, you know. I'm not trying to make an excuse or advocate for why they're doing things the way they're doing it. But no, I don't have any info. I did see one content creator on crypto Twitter talk about it. If anything, you know, we'll pull it up for a second because, you know, it is on you guys' mind, but it's nothing, I don't know. It's nothing like too juicy or like, you know, a real update, but this was basically the latest. And let me pull this up for a second. Let me see. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, it's the first one that comes up. That comes from this guy. Steph is crypto. If anything, I'll retweet it just to kind of help him out. And he's got a lot more followers than I do, so I'll go ahead and share this. All right, let's play this. Let's see if you can see it. No, you can't. All right, here we go. Is that good? Yeah, let's go ahead and play this real quick. It says Q4 token lockup coming. This is literally it. I mean, there's nothing really else out there, but it's just his own perspective, but it's a good perspective. Let's play this. Smash a like. Here we go.
What's up, guys? As we're getting closer to the end of the year, I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about Jasmine's potential Q4 token lockup. For the last few months on Twitter, on YouTube, you've heard a lot of rumors about a potential lockup in Q4 for Jasmine. But what does this lockup actually mean and what impact could it have on the price action? And lastly, here you can see some of the trades that we recently did in my trade signal group. As you can see, we made very nice profits. So first of all, guys, what is a token lockup? A token lockup is a period during which a certain amount of tokens can't be traded or transferred. Why does a project decide to do this? Well, it's because they need a certain amount of tokens within the ecosystem for certain utility processes. And that's why Jasmine decided to lock up a certain amount of tokens in Q4 of this year. So what would the impact be on the price action of such a token lockup? Well, a token lockup can lead to higher prices as it restricts the available amount of tokens in the circulating supply. So this is definitely a positive thing for Jasmine would a token lockup occur in Q4 of this year. As we all know, the circulating supply of Jasmine is roughly 94% of all the available Jasmine out there, and this is very good. This basically means that we're currently trading at a potential floor price for Jasmine. I think the downside potential from off this point is fairly limited, and this potential lockup in Q4 would definitely help the Jasmine price to go higher. So how many tokens will they lock up in Q4? If you look on Twitter, if you look on YouTube, there are several speculations out there. Some people are talking about 25%, people are talking about 50%. I've even heard 80%. At this stage, guys, we have no information just yet available. If there's more information about this topic, I will, of course, let all of you guys know. But at this stage, we have no clue how many tokens will be locked up in Q4.
I'm telling you flat out, it's not going to be all locked up at once. I mean, I know some people want all at once. I just don't think they're going to do that. You know, too much like of the targets for 2026. It might actually work out better that it just ends up being like I don't know, like in little, I should say little, like in chunks, right? As we go through 2024. And so on. You got to also keep in mind, you better believe that the Jasmine management team is fully aware that Jasmine basically runs in correlation with BTC and Ethereum. All right. So what's the big thing that's going to happen in 2024, right? In April, it's the BTC halving. So they're going to have some kind of plan in regards to that. I mean, it'll be interesting. We'll find out in the AMA. You know, all this stuff is basically speculative at this point, but if their price targets, the real true price targets is those KPI numbers for, 2026. Some people think that's nuts, $17. I mean, my God, like when that happens, I mean, you could bet you better, put Jasmine up there with, some of the other ones that we have. And that's why a lot of us, some people think like, okay, hey, you guys, right on, man. XRP, right on. QNT, right on. XLM, XDC. But when some people hear about Jasmine, they're like, huh? You can always tell the ones that didn't research it right? They look at the chart. They're like, it's 99% down. You guys are out of your mind. Again, a totally different type of situation when that thing first launched, right? I mean, you look at what's diluted. Look where we're at now. I mean, but yeah, everything's speculative at this point. And if anything, the AMAs come up in the future. I like Dip Metaverse. I think he's a great, I think he's basically, here's the thing. I know some of you guys, if you could vote, some of you guys are real nice. I really appreciate it. You said, you would vote for me to be your Jasmine ambassador from the United States. In reality, it's probably going to be Dip Metaverse. And I'm totally okay with that, because he's been doing it longer than I have. He does the Saturday, Sunday Twitter space all the time. He's just super active. I'm active in regards to the deep dives, but he gets my vote for sure. And so my thing is, you better believe he's going to mention in the next AMAs some of these things. He's super active. So does it get answered by Hara? Does it get pushed? They can get kicked down the road. I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. But either way, I mean, the whole topic of it actually being a thing and not being something that they just completely say no to, that is big in itself. And even without a lockup, I truly believe that we get to at least $1 by the height of the utility run and so on. So that's huge. For some people that own like 100,000 Jasmine, we get to $1. That's $100,000. I mean, for some people, that's not life changing, but you better believe it. I don't think anybody's really complaining about 100,000. I mean, I'm not 100,000. Some of us are higher, some of us lower. Some of us, like, your goals are to reach some of these things by then. But I think it's going to be pretty awesome. There's institutional lockups, which represent like a certain amount of the tokenomics. But it's not just about that, right? It's like they got to address exactly what is the amount that's going to be locked up. All right. The Ghost, do Don Knotts. I wish I can do a Don Knotts impersonation, right? Whether it was from the Andy Griffith show or when he played Mr. Furley on Three's Company. Can't do a Don Knotts, unfortunately. Pretty hilarious guy, though. his Saitama. I think he still has Saitama. I still have Saitama too. I mean, it's like worth 40 or 50 bucks. It's pathetic. Who is that guy? That guy, his name is what the heck is his name? I forgot his name. I just forgot that quick. Isn't that horrible? I'm kidding. Steph is crypto. Yeah, he covers Jasmine quite a bit. Give him a follow, you know. All right, let's see here. You saw that guy earlier today, watched a bit of it. Oh, that's cool. All right, stop, slack, and take action. Slow jam, tunes, and body action. XTC is pumping. Yes, it is. Let's pull that up. Let's pull the chart back up. Stop talking, Max. Just pull up the chart. I will. I'll do that right now. We boil it, we mash it, we stick it in a stew. Potatoes. All right. All right. Can you see it? Yes, you do see it. And it's all focused on it. So that's good. All right. Yeah. How are we doing on this real quick? We did break into, man, we're well up into 6 cents territory. And now we may very well break into 0.06, one. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Just briefly. I mean, it's kind of fluctuating, but that's interesting. I mean, in reality, guys, you can't expect it to new support 6 cents. That's not going to happen. But, new support could be 5.5 cents, could be 5 cents. I mean, come on, man. LCX was 5 cents for the longest time. H bar was 5 cents for the longest time. So this is a big deal because, I mean, remember how long XDC was hovering around, slightly below 2 cents or right around 2 cents. And then, 2.8, 2.9, close to 3 cents. I mean, for a lot of us, I mean, this is already a 3X, since last year. Or if you even came into it earlier than that, shout out to you. Yeah, 17 is more than okay. My God, man, I would not complain on that. Heck, I wouldn't complain at $1, $5. It's amazing. All right, Crypto Oracle. If they lock up all at once, they will break the internet. Everyone and their grandmother will be trying to cash out. That's a good point. I mean, here's the thing. If they have that long-term vision for some of these goals at $17, it's just, you got to plan things out the right way. And I think that's, in my opinion, I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to do it the right way. Boomer FSN, I predict the lockup starts in October and ends in January. All right. Got to have some Jasmine. Absolutely. I definitely have some. Glad I do. I'm still looking to DCA even more. Even though I hit my goals, I have new goals, but we're all different and it's okay. Welcome back to the AZ Marine Sniper. He says, was he saying they're gonna lock up most of the coins? He was saying it based off of what the community is talking about. I'm just gonna state for the record, I don't think it's gonna be 80% lockup. I know some people want that. I just don't see that happening. I will agree if that did happen, right? Or if it's not going to be 100% lockup, all right? I can almost, for certain say it's not going to be 100%, but in the odd case I'm completely wrong, all right, which wouldn't be the first time, then I would agree with one of the previous statements of holy crap, watch out for the biggest massive sell-off of all time because, I mean, some crazy things will happen. But, yeah, my main thing is, that pathway forward towards 2024, the Bitcoin halving and so on, again, guys, come on. I mean, how many times I see on, crypto Twitter, people complaining about, they're like, oh, it's a red day. Look at Jasmine. It's so far down. All right. Well, what's going on with BTC? BTC was basically 29K, not even that anymore. Where are we at? Yeah, 29,156. That's a big difference compared to, we lost $2,500 off of BTC and market cap went way down. Just like we're mentioned from Investor Place. I mean, it's there's a pullback, and if anything, don't let your emotions take over too much. Recognize there's probably going to be more pullbacks. You're going to hear at least 1 to 5 people or more. And it's okay. I don't dismiss it. They're going to say, oh, this is crashing to 12K. There's not enough evidence to support that. I'm just being honest. There's not enough evidence to support that. If you're looking at actual true data and metrics and stuff like that, based off of, obviously like the real true nitty gritty reports of what we follow in this country and abroad, that doesn't add up. Anyway, Dingy, aka Daniel, 17 at 50 cents. Oh God. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. Let's I don't know if that's as bad of a visual as a Coney Island on my screen, but that's quite the visual itself. All right, let's go further down. L. Wright Sr. when Binance Japan. I'm going to jump into that in a bit. In fact, we should jump into it now because you know what? It's been a while since we got into that one. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump into that now. If you guys want to give a shout out to L. Wright Sr. for basically, picking a great time to jump back into what we got, you can. All right, let's see how we're doing on the other screen. We're doing pretty well. All right, let's jump into the Jasmine segment. No, not the Liechtenstein. All right, the Jasmine in the house. All right, shout out to Mr. Magic Power. All right, here we go. And I do believe I have it up right here. If I don't, let me share a different way. I don't. That's okay. Somebody sent me a DM. It's Jay. I'll have to look into that later. All right. Actually, I'm gonna share one more thing from XRP real quick, and then we'll get into Jasmine because I don't want you guys to miss this. This is good stuff. Oh yeah, I meant to share this earlier. So this came from Bullzilla. This is pretty good. All right. So David Schwartz says Ripple is fixing the biggest problem in crypto. 2023 XRP non-security. All right. This was reported 2 days ago. Smash that like. It's only 2.5 minutes. It's pretty good stuff. Here we go.
I agree. How do you feel about the ecosystem now today from maybe a few years ago? I mean, do you feel like we've had a lot of growth where we're going in the right direction?
Yeah, I think the much as painful as the bear year was for me, I think that shakeout got a lot of the I have a white paper, give me $100 million people out, and or the people who are just like, I heard that it's streets are raining money, I want to get in this field. Have no interest in building anything or even understanding the technology, or I think a lot of those people got shaken out. And I think also it proved that there's more to this than just a speculative element. That there actually is an underlying technology that is an actual problem that we're solving.
Exactly.
And so I think that's really, really good. I have to say, sometimes I feel like things are taking forever, and other times I feel it's amazing we've gotten as much accomplished in this little time. I think the truth is somewhere in between those two things. But I think there are problems that we can only solve together. Regulatory is a good example. No one company is going to be able to solve some of the regulatory problems. And just on the regulatory front, it's not bad laws that are the problem. There are some bad laws that are a problem, but the biggest problem is uncertainty. People who don't know what they need to do to comply with the law, because the law is like, for example, there's a law that says that if you take custody of someone's money, like there's certain things happen. Well, when do you do that? If I open a payment channel to you and I send you a claim to that, have you taken custody of that money, or is it still mine? Or like nobody knows what the laws mean, and there's a serious risk that people will be told, oh, you should have known that you were breaking this law. And so we looked at that law and we honestly could not figure out. No one's going to put millions or billions of dollars into a business when there are those kinds of risks. So that's I think still the biggest problem. I think I should also point out it is really hard to get bank accounts. That's another problem. There are hundreds of legal businesses every day that can't operate or open because they either can't get a bank account or lose their bank accounts. Some change has to happen to that. And that is on the government to fix. These look like private banks making private decisions about what customers they'll do business with, but that's not what's happening. What's happening is it's legal uncertainty and it's legal risk that they're mitigating. And it is on the government to fix the laws so that legal businesses can get banked. And I think if you talk to people in this business, they'll tell you regulatory uncertainty and the inability to get banking connections are the biggest obstacles.
But you said the banks.
Say what you want. that was really cool that Bullzilla apparently was at the Vegas, XRP convention and so on, and got to interview David Schwartz, Joel Katz. I think that was pretty cool. One key takeaway that I want to state in regards to that interview, where David Schwartz was talking about like the unbanked. He was talking about businesses, right? Don't get me wrong, but there's even businesses, let's face it, in the underserved areas of the world, right? That don't have bank accounts. I know it sounds nuts, but it's an actual thing. And for me, and I don't want this to sound like a divisive thing because I own both, obviously. I'm a big proponent of both Ripple's XRP and Stellar's XLM. But that even creates that much more supply and demand for what, guys? Stellar, right? Because they definitely are standing out when it comes to serving the underserved, unbanked regions of the world and so on. So, like we were showing earlier. All right, we will now kick it into the Jasmine coverage that we have. I just want to double check the comments real quick. And yeah, you even got the female stating this. So, 300K baby for your Jasmine. Right on. Some great goals. Whale alert. Interesting. We shared you guys, the whole thing will happen with over 500 million on Binance Japan. Well, not officially called Binance Japan, but you know where we're going. But yeah, we'll get into Jasmine here in a bit. Stop, slack, and take action. That's that cash out coin. Jasmine is the hedge coin. All right, let's see here. The email is towards Larry. Saw my name recognized here. Larry, it would be cool if you could get some kind of partnership with Hooters and do a live crypto show from there. Max could do his local Hooters also. Wow. Live from Hooters, that would be something else. What was it? I forgot who it was. Redman and De La Soul was like, what was that song? New York City, your dreams are now been fulfilled. Come on over to Hooters and let's get ill and chill, right? Anyway. All right. Dingy says in Canada, getting out 100K, 50% to the government, end up with 50K in your pockets. All right. We'll recognize a few more. You know what? I might be able to do that. Jim Neighbors, who played as Gomer Pyle. I know he passed away a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, something like that. You got to get Maxwell Smart impression. I have to remember some of these. I think I might have been able to do Maxwell Smart. All right, Juan. Hey Max, I would like you to follow CryptoSpace. He is to post every day content of Jasmine. You will love it. I have almost 2 million in Jasmine in my favorite coin. All right, well, how about this? Other content creators don't really do this for whatever reason. I mean, there's Crypto John, a few other guys, right? Great guys. But I'll do that. Let's check them out. Let's give them a plug real quick. He said what's his name? Crypto Space. Not related to Space Chicks. Shout out to Space Chick. All right, hold on. Crypto Space. Pull that up. Covers Jasmine. He said there's more than one Crypto Space though. You know what? So I'm gonna share my screen. You tell me which one this is, or I could just click on. Hold on a second. Maybe I can find out which one it is. See which one's covered Jasmine. Don't see nothing on that guy. Let's check out the other guy. Let's see. I'm not seeing nothing on this guy. All right, there's a bunch of crypto spaces on YouTube. You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific, my friend. Okay, and we'll check them out. Actually, you know what? Let me try one more thing. My bad. Let me see. Max, you're good with the research. You can't even research that. All right, hold on. Let me try one more time. Crypto space, and I'll just type in Jasmine. It'll come up. Maybe it'll come up that way. I think you're talking about crypto spaces, not crypto space. I am subscribed to this guy, and just to prove it to you, I'm actually subscribed to him. I'm also following him on Twitter. I like how he says Jesus Christ is Lord. I truly believe that. All right, yeah, Crypto Spaces. This is obviously the guy because he covers Jasmine, so that's cool stuff. 24 minutes ago, 100,000 Jasmine millionaires. Cool. He's posting. He's killing it with the Jasmine coverage. Nice. Very, very cool. Well, shout out to him. Give him a follow. Crypto Spaces. Yeah, very cool stuff. Look at that. There's There's Kunitake Ando, Kazumasa Sato. There's CZ. All right. Well, that's good, man. Give them a follow. Crypto Spaces, plural. All right. The Ghost. Don't go to bed before the king. Some of those commercials were hilarious. All right. All right. So let's keep it at that because I'm pretty much behind now, and that's okay. I want to kick it into the Jasmine coverage because you guys have been patiently waiting. Let's jump into this real quick. If anything, let me close out some of these things because you know what? Kind of need to do that. All right. All right. Yeah, let's jump into this for a second. So we were talking about Binance and Binance Japan. Is it a real thing and is it really coming? Smash that like when it comes to this because we're going to talk about some of these key things that you may not have even been aware of. Okay. Smash that like for some Jasmine coverage. Let's jump into the topic that's on everybody's mind. Binance Japan. Is that actually going to be a thing? Well, I think so. So here it is. And this is going to give you a broader perspective of what the heck is going on. Let's talk about this for a bit. Even though this article comes back from May 29th, it highlights some key things that you may not have been aware of, or if anything, maybe you haven't even seen it be reported on crypto Twitter. I'm going to blow this up a little bit more, put some emphasis on it. That way you can see it real cool or real big on your phone or your television, whatever you're using. Again, thank you so much for being here. Please smash that like. Here's what we have for you guys tonight. From the Crypto Times, Binance launches regulated crypto trading platform, of course, in Japan. And they have this whole outline, right? But here's some of the key things I want to show you guys here. And basically speaking is where it talks about some of these key findings about what's going to happen, not only from the summertime, in June, but where we're going to November. So Binance has announced that it will cease support for Japanese users on its global platform by November 30th of 2023, right? That's literally in a few months away. Like it says, effective immediately, residents of Japan face trading restrictions and are unable to engage and leverage tokens, trading, or subscriptions. However, they retain the ability to redeem existing positions until June 23rd of 2023. I mean, that time has already passed. Like it also mentions, it says, users ensure that they can, close any open positions back in January or June 23rd. Again, it's already passed. But what it mentions here, Binance will be closing any remaining positions on that day. It advised to manage and close all positions, of course, by November 19th of 2023. I mean, some of you guys have some of these problems. I don't have these problems, but let's face it, there's some of you guys that still are on there. So as it goes further through this, it mentions that Binance has informed its Japanese users that the migration link for completing identity verification will be accessible between August 1st, which is right around the corner, and November 30th. Users are advised to utilize this time frame to complete the necessary verification process. Now, what I was going to mention is, and the reason why I want to highlight some of this stuff is, there has been, and I hate to do rumors because I don't like rumors so much, but those who are basically already did the KYC supposedly are going to be grandfathered into the new system of Binance Japan. And what is that going to entail and so on? Well, I don't know. I don't have the answers for that. But what I want to state is, basically speaking, when we see what's going on with over 500 million, like we reported earlier, is not in my opinion, it's not a whale, right? Some people say it's a crypto whale. No, it's literally Binance. It even says it right there. So I really do believe that they're preparing for Binance Japan. I do also believe that they will recognize, again, I don't have verification about this and so on. I just, some of the things that people have obviously DM'd to me. Some of these things are just rumors, but one of the things is, yeah, that kind of makes sense. If you're going through all the trouble, all this KYC, why wouldn't you, to a sense, like award some of these people by, I guess you could say, I don't know if I would say grandfathering, but like, hey, you went through all the trouble, KYC and so on. Hey, you know what? That was a headache for you and whatnot. Hey, you're a local citizen of Japan. Boom. Let's just transfer you over to Binance Japan. Now, granted, maybe with the the regulations of what they have over in Japan and so on, you have to have at least like a disclaimer saying, you know, yes, I give Binance permission, you know, through your app or whatever to transfer, you know, whatever remaining assets I have to Binance Japan, instead of like, oh, here's your oh crap moment of November, whatever it was, to do so. To me, from a business perspective, that simply makes sense. Will that be enough to maybe potentially be a win-win for both sides? I think so. Here's why. They're a business, right? They want to have, let's face it, so much that extra liquidity, if you will, with actual user assets. Let's just be real about this, right? So if you're able to give some people a disclaimer where they don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops, because technically speaking, instead of saying, hey, you're SOL by November, whatever it is, hit this accept button. I mean, come on, man. Are we led to believe that Binance can't do what Bitmart does? No, like they can totally do anything Bitmart can do. And then hit that disclaimer, transfer it over to Binance Japan. If anything, they'll have a tremendous amount of newly formed liquid assets at their disposal. To me, it's a win-win for them, and it's a win-win, obviously, for Japanese citizens and so on. So, but we'll see what happens with that. I want to jump into a little bit more because it's, you know, our coverage tonight is a lot more than just Binance Japan. All right, so glad to share that with you guys. I want to jump into this next part, and you know, this is good stuff. This comes from, and let me pull this up for a second. I want to see if I'm in the full frame. I am. All right, so this comes from 279. I just, again, like I said, I just found out recently, you know, he's another fellow person not too far away, so that's super cool. But anyway, like he says, investing in Jasmine is an exceptional choice for securing your future. I agree. Stands out from other cryptocurrencies, so on and so forth, right? It says this innovative approach sets Jasmine apart when it comes to, like, you know, not only developers can create content, but purchase necessary data, right? Like the monetization, right? We're gonna get into that. But the key thing is that I want you guys to have here is that was reported originally 13 hours ago from Ben G Crypto, and that is this right here from CoinGecko stats. Top 10 most voted coins in the last 7 days on CoinGecko. You got to get credit where credit's due. Jasmine, look where it's ahead of. This is ahead of Phantom. Are you kidding me? This is ahead of Hedera. Are you kidding me? That's big. It's ahead of Solana. It's even ahead of Chainlink, right? Ranks number 2 on this CoinGecko list. That means it's trending. You know, we always talk about the supply and demand of your particular crypto asset. You know, does it trend? Does it have use case? You know, is it just one use case and so on, right? Is there scarcity? Well, I don't think there's scarcity yet, but with having a lockup, a potential lockup, you better believe that that creates that much supply and demand, right? So thought I'd show that to you guys. You know, it's just a quick little snippet. Very cool nonetheless. You know, I mean, I hopefully you guys are able to see that. Yeah, you're able to see that. The next thing I want to jump into, this is kind of like, you could say, the juicy stuff. You know, because I don't really necessarily want to do fluff, but I mean, those things were definitely worth pointing out, right? Let's just be real about it. All right, this comes from this guy who I do follow, and I have to translate tweets, but it's okay. I mean, you know, you like the idea that you have somebody who's stationed in Japan, or lives there. I shouldn't say stationed, right? You know, it makes it sound like he's in the military, right? But I did translate this tweet earlier, and I want to share this with you guys. I don't do this every single time. I usually do this in the deep dives. I don't necessarily do on the live, but this comes from Level 8. We've been following each other for a while. I really have a lot of respect for this guy, right? This guy gets it. This guy takes, like, he gives us like these crypto Hulk type moments, if you will, but for Jasmine, right? I can appreciate that. Look what's mentioned here. Dear family, JPYC announces the start of pre-registration for merchants associated with the acquisition of third-party prepaid payment instruments. Should I call him the leader of Japanese stablecoin development team? You may be wondering, what? Huh? Hear me out. Remember we talked about the DD, data democratization coin, how big that is, especially for Japan, especially when it comes to lately, right? Some of the domestic banks embracing crypto, DLT, blockchain, right? That's all big. The official announcement has not been yet made, but the DD coin, which is, listen to this, because you know what? You're probably in the chat talking about crazy stuff right now. But the DD coin, which is JPYC denominated, will surely create a storm. I think it will. Do you have anything more to back this up, Max? You better believe I do. Let's jump into this. So I like what is more than what's mentioned here. Okay. So let me pull this up. And here this is from the actual translation, if you will. Check this out for yourself. And this is big. This is bullish if you're a Jasmine holder. He says, please spread the word. We'll talk more about it at WebEx tomorrow. You guys are more than, willing or more than welcome to look more into it. In fact, with the time difference, this might be going on like either on like as we speak, or maybe with the time difference a little bit later, maybe after the show. But yeah, JPYC, a Japanese yen stablecoin, notice to start a pre-registration for merchants accompanying the acquisition of third-party, are you ready for this? Third-party prepayment instruments. I don't know what you mean, Max. Okay, it's all right. The Internet of Things, right? Who is the biggest proponent that I know of when it comes to the Internet of Things in Japan? You better believe it's Jasmine with the connections, wits. All these things are worth paying attention to, right? So they had this official press release. This was, basically, I think a couple days ago, but you got to keep in mind, like, what's happening, I guess, with some of the coverage today, the time difference and so on. I'll pull this up. And as I do so, I'm going to translate real quick. Here it is for the PR Times. You got to keep in mind, this is a big publication over in Japan. And in the process of doing so, I want to show you guys this for a second. Japanese yen JPYC announced of start a pre-registration, like I mentioned, acquisition of third-party prepayment instruments. And another thing I'm just gonna give you a little teaser about this real quick. For all the people that are flooding Jasmine and saying it's just an ERC20 token, okay? I want you to understand something, and that is basically speaking, there is a finding that I found in which is really, really big, because for one, it's an old partnership, and I want to give a shout out to Jesse of KIR Finance, Keeping It Real Finance. He's more than done his homework long before I even got into Jasmine cover this. So it's kind of a little bit of a reiteration of what he mentioned, but it's also another thing that I personally found recently, and I'm going to do it in a proper deep dive. So be on the lookout for that. Might not come out tonight, but it'll be it's not a time sensitive thing. Be out within the next few days. You want to pay attention to that, because one of the key things is it's going to show to you and prove to all the naysayers that, yes, Jasmine can do what? It can scale. Oh, really? Yes, it can scale, and it shows you the technology that allows it for scalability. That's the bottom line. So when some people say Jasmine's not going to have nothing to do with payments, that's a line of BS, because yes, it can have something to do with payments. We know that they're going to be tied into, for instance, what they got going on with this DD coin. Basically, you ride on a bullet train in Japan, for instance, or Tokyo, or wherever the surrounding areas, and you need to be able to pay in the future, especially with the concept of Society 5.0, has something in which you quickly be able to board it, scans whatever that is, and then boom, done, payment done, you're on the train. You can't have something that is a very slow layer one solution like, the original ETH, right? That's not going to get the job done. So we'll break that down for you in a proper deep dive. I'm not going to do it on a live show. The show will be way too long to make that happen. I'm just not going to do that. But I'm telling you flat out, for the naysayers, this is going to help like 110%, all right? It's going to show you that, how much the TPS is going to increase, all that good stuff. All right, so let's come back to this for a brief moment. There was a press release in regards to this. JPYC has been widely used as a Japanese yen stablecoin with the #1 share in Japan. And think about how that sounds, right? Has been widely used. What about getting like some of this third-party stuff going on? What could be the third parties? Obviously, the third parties that are tied into blockchain, distributed ledger technologies, and so on. The Internet of Things. We would like to inform you that we have completed the registration of third-party prepayment payment instruments so that more users can use them conveniently in the future will be possible to use JPYC at the stores of each member store and EC sites. In addition, merchants will be able to redeem JPY to JPY with very low transaction fees compared to existing credit card and QR code payments. Right. What would be the solution to the existing ones? You better believe the bigger players are part of this third-party stuff, hence the Internet of Things and what it's tied to with blockchain and so on. But who would be the proponent to help get this done? You know, you guys, for instance, I don't know if you're like me, you watch some of these shows, right? Like I watch, for instance, like Power. I like Power. I think it's a great show. And, you know, in the bad world of, let's face it, you know what, trafficking, and I don't want to use the DRU, word, because sometimes, YouTube has a fit. But in that show, they talk about, like, for instance, having a guy that's a connect, or having a, who's your plug, right? Well, you better believe that when it comes to Jasmine, and I'll reference him again, Mr. Genki Oda is their plug, is their connect, if you will, right? If he was able to get these Bitpoint ATMs blanket all these areas, right? You better believe he is your connect. He is your plug for what they mention here, right? Instead of using these QR codes or existing credit card payments, the new thing. What's the new thing? You better believe they're embracing these new things. So they got this thing about the recruitment of member stores. Again, think about what happened many years ago. Bitpoint ATMs for Bitcoin. How about this? Bitpoint personal data lockers for freaking Jasmine with DD, right? Oh, we want to use DD. Okay. So you get rewarded in DD points, right? Data democratization, the DD coin, because you need a board, and that's tied into the yen. So, you need to have a clear 1-1 ratio, if you will, tied into the yen. We understand that, right? But then from there, you don't want your card or your wallet, your super wallet. I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of how to picture all this in the future. You don't want your super wallet talking to every little thing that is floating around in the wireless traffic of the world, right? You don't want that. Hence why sometimes you go to McDonald's, sometimes you got to be careful about that, right? If it's an unsecured Wi-Fi connection, some of them are secured, but you can't automatically assume that everything's secured, right? So the point is, you have what? You have a Jasmine token. You have a whole bunch of Jasmine tokens. Some of you guys talk about you have 300,000 of these things. Again, picture you're a Japanese citizen. And you have basically what is referred to as a personal data locker. So for one, it activates this mechanism. It rewards you for, hey, yeah, you do have a PDL. Okay. Plus, we're going to give you points, for boarding on this bullet train and so on, right? With the DD data democratization coin. And so you're benefiting not only Jasmine for one holding it, but you're also contributing to what? You're contributing to Society 5.0, because if anything, they're also going to contribute back to you with these points. So it's like a win-win. It's like this complete gear that's just in motion, if you could picture that. Sometimes people just need an explanation of how this all works. All right, I'm going to jump into just a little bit more about this. So they are pleased to inform you that JPYC Co. has successfully completed the registration of an issuer of third-party prepaid payment instruments, which has been processing with the application procedure since 2021 with the registration number and what you see right here. Now, one of the key things that I think is really worth pointing out, and I'm not going to get into all of this, is this right here. Until now, JPYC had acquired the self-type prepaid payment instruments, and the purchased JPYC could be exchanged for gift certificates at the JPYC sales office, or exchanged for accommodation coupons at facilities in Kwanhan Town. But after the third-party acquisition, it will be possible to use it at the stores of each member store. Again, remember I showed you in a deep dive, there was a kid, and he goes with his mom, and the mom is going to buy the kid a toy, all right? And how does she pay? She pays at the counter, and she actually pays with a wallet with BTC many years ago. Okay. But the key thing is, what about fast forwarding to the future right now? Right? If you see these things labeled here, if you've been paying attention to this, I think it's a very, very big thing, because even though it doesn't say it specifically Jasmine, again, understand who they're connected to. It's not exactly about, what you know, is who you know, right? Absolutely. This guy, Genki Oda, I keep pounding it home every time. He's so well connected. Bitpoint and that key partnership with Jasmine. SBI Japan, right? He's like one of the top chairmen of that. And then on top of that, the FSA, right? Japan's version of the SEC. I should basically say Japan's version of the was it the CTFC, like what we have here, right? They're more proponents for blockchain embracing and so on, but you get my point. So we are preparing to be able to use it for hometown tax, which has been announced and postponed for some time. Dates all the way back to the 3rd of 2021. But if anything, you've seen how this is all coming together. And if you're wondering about this, just real quick, it says first in Japan, hometown tax payment with Japanese yen stablecoin, JPYC. Realize JPYC has a business partnership, for instance, with Disport, and promotes regional revitalization in Keio Town, Tokushima Prefecture. So again, back to what I was saying earlier, if you can, give people a reason to use your cryptocurrency, or, your personal data lockers and so on. But at the same time, it's not just about, trying to convince people to use this new technology that they may not be educated about, but at the same time, like, convert it to a stable coin that contributes literally to the society. Then they end up doing what? Kind of like what Mike Cornwell was talking about. But in Japan, they go to swipe and don't even realize it's tied into blockchain, DLT, and so on. It's the same concept that we talk about with Ripple XRP or Stellar Lumens and so on. But it's in where? Japan. This last part, and then this is it. Taking advantage of the completion of third-party registration, we will proceed with preparations in cooperation with the authorities. See what I mean? With the authorities. Like, there's no trying to do some shady stuff here. So that it can be used for payment of products and services of each member store. In the future, we aim to issue a Japanese yen stablecoin through a fund transfer business. We know, for instance, that Jasmine has obviously funds, and they have, grant programs and so on. That's just scratching the surface here. JPYC Limited develops and operates JPYC, a Japanese yen stablecoin. JPYC is issued as a third-party prepayment instrument in compliance with the Payment Services Act. Technically, it has the same characteristics as, look at what it says here, because you're wondering, well, is it going to mention crypto? You better believe it. The same characteristics as crypto assets. Is anybody here? I don't even know if how many people are watching, but look at this. As crypto assets. I didn't make this up, but legally it is completely clear to Japanese law. Currently, JPYC is issued on various public. Oh, look at this. Max is getting to the juicy stuff. Public blockchains, including Ethereum and even Polygon. So let this be a cursor, if you will, a teaser of what's to come in the deep dive, where I'm going to get into some of the things. I'm going to reference, obviously, Jesse of KRR Finance, because you may not be aware of it, especially if you're a new Jasmine investor. But we're going to give you a breakdown of why you should pay more attention to some of these key findings, because you better believe when I see too much FUD and people saying, well, this is just another ERC20 token. I'm not going to get into this. Quant is just another ERC20 token. I'm not going to get into that. It's just a bunch of garbage. You haven't done your proper research. These guys are stating that. And it's more than just ERC20 token because of the layer 2 scalability solution. Hence why I did give you guys the definition of the difference between a layer 1 and a layer 2. No, I don't just bring in news, but we also bring educational content as well. So think about that for a moment. Think about how bullish that is. And again, shout out to Level 8 for the research. Glad to bring it to you. Kicking it back to the comments. All right. So what do we got up here next? Let's see. How about Shaka from the Land of the Lost? Huh. All right, let me get back into where I was last. And if anything, I got to double check to see if I got some questions I need to answer. Nope. I think these people kind of went to bed. That's okay. There was one 39 minutes ago. I missed it. No. Oh, man. All right. Give me just a second. Let me see if this guy's is not going to be mad that I have a delay. Hold on just a minute. I'll kick it back to the comments. Got to answer this guy. All right. Cash. I think the lockup will be staggered over a period of 4 to 12 months. All right. Let me go further down because I need to obviously kind of, get further down. Is OG Crypto in the house? He is. There he is. Mr. OG Crypto, Mr. Gangster. Let me tell you about the days of way back. Slaying hard up on the boulevard. Freaking Daz Dillinger. All right. Glad to have you here, Mr. OG Crypto. Gangster. All right. 2026 coin, baby. Yeah, I mean, let's face it. I mean, we talk about 2025, but in reality, it's like late 2025, going into 2026 for some of these, not all of them, but some of these. It's kind of like when people talk about the 1960s, like some of the hippies and stuff. Like, oh, it's the 60s. But in reality, is it really the 60s or is it more like late 60s to early 70s? But you get what I'm saying, Talk about 2025, late 25 going to 2026. You get where I'm going. GG, Crypto Eerie, have a good video today with David Schwartz today. Dude is a rock star. I like Crypto Eerie. She's got some good stuff. I was able to share one of the things that I did for the Genki Oda, why Jasmine's the Bitcoin Japan outline, right? So that was nice to be able to use that on there. If it wasn't that one, it was either the QNT Jasmine XDC video. It might have been that one. My bad. All right. Coney Island talk now. Lobster and Scorpion talk now. My God. All right. The ghost says that goes to 17. I'm going to need a straitjacket. Are you going to go nuts? You're going to go bat-ish crazy? Running around? Hardly anyone will hold Jasmine up to 70. But yeah, you want to talk about diamond hands. I mean, that would literally be the definition of it. Now, I want to state this, okay? All right. Some people, I understand, some of us can afford to do certain things and some of us can't. It's not about that. But what I want to state is this. Make a spreadsheet, all right? For real. Take an Excel spreadsheet. Don't just like put off things of like speculation. I mean, it's one thing to dream about stuff, but like for me, like I have my goals set up and then I'm saying to myself, all right, here's my new goals. And for me, it's like taking profits at $1 for sure. But if I have my goals for my second and third bags, then that really, really helps tremendously. Because for me, the next one is the $5 mark. And of course, the $17 mark and so on. And that's where it's at, I mean, and that's just off of Jasmine alone. I mean, that doesn't even count, all the other ones I have in my portfolio. But, for some of you guys that do like a focus on 5 or 10, cryptos that you already reached your goals and stacked, I just hope that we all think we have our goals of how we're going to go about things and so on. But it's one thing to have those reminders that like where you can see it, those visualizations. All right. Man, I got to turn on this fan again. It's getting kind of hot on the side of the house. When I had the guys install the AC, I should have had them do like another vent over on this side, but maybe I will. All right, let's see here. Let's go further down. Live from Hooters. Sounds like a good idea to me. Well, if anything, maybe it'll be better internet. I don't mean that. That's not me making fun, but you know what I mean. All right, already read some of that. Check out Danica. She's going to be a star. Larry, you're the next Merv Griffin of Hooters. Oh, jeez. Juan Rogel, you were right, Max. Thank you. Let me know if I'm pronouncing your last name right. I had a student. His name was Rogel, and that's why I call it. I say Rogel. Anyway, nice kid. Didn't make the basketball team, but nice kid. Anyway. All right. Hey, look here. We got Stardog in the house. Welcome, Stardog. Glad to have you, man. Realistically, would need to own a few million Jasmine to be millionaires, but hey, I'll take it at 100. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much where it's at for a lot of people. I don't know, I saw some guy on one of my videos. He said that Jasmine was going to crash to 0.001. Like, you know how you want to know something? Could we talk about this for a second? You know what it would take for Jasmine to crash to 0.001? So for one, where were we at 0.001 when FTX happened? No, we were at 0.0029. So when I see some of the stuff, I'm just like, where are these guys coming up with these figures? You know? All right. Here's one from Ghost. You need to get a copyright series. Hold on a second. 757 behind. With Hooters Girls, if you get a contract with HBO with them flinging their tops off, I personally, but you want what? Okay, Hooters in Phoenix at 2820 North 75th Avenue. There's one closer to me than that one. Probably because you said you heard me say Northwest Phoenix. I guess that makes sense. I'd rather go with Tilted Kilt personally, but teaches them. I just think Tilted Kilt is where it's at when it comes to that. Anyway, haven't been there in a long time though. With scalability. All right. T-Lens says exactly. Good night, all. Thanks for dropping by, T-Lens. You're probably gone already, but thank you so much for dropping by. No, I was saying good night to her. What is this? Lidl. Is that something about? Is that a Squidward reference? You know, is that the star reference? Because you definitely are the star. You're like, yeah, that's right, Max. I know you are. I know you're the star, Edward. I know you are, Mr. Squidward. I know all about the squid emojis and stuff like that. It's okay. It's okay. You know, give credit where credit's due, Mr. Squid. Boom. You know, must feel good to get maybe 3 or 4 or 10 little squids going across the chat. Anyway, never mind. I'm not gonna talk about that right now. All right. Max tag. Okay. And here's some squids. All right. Let's take a look into it. Thank you so much to everybody who's still here at the 2.5 hour mark. We have just a little bit left for you guys. Let me see where we're at. What was it? Yeah, I think that might be it. Yeah, that actually is it. We're just going to look at some of the tags. We're just going to recognize, some of you guys from the community and so on. So appreciate you guys. I just want to state this. When you see this deep dive for Jasmine, I really hope, especially if you're on crypto Twitter, that you get it out and so on. And if anything, instead of just hitting the retweet, when you see it, all right, not necessarily this one, but it's going to talk about scalability. All right, I'll try to put that somewhere in the thumbnail. But just something like that says basically, hey guys, worried about Jasmine being ERC20 or anything like that, right? Or can't scale. Check this out, because you know what? That's my way of contributing towards the greater cause. Because you better believe there's a lot of people who won't get into Jasmine because they feel like there's no scalability. It can't scale. I want to state this video, what I'm going to do in the future, might not be tonight, but it's going to be soon. It's going to put that to rest. And I wouldn't say that unless I could back that up. And you better believe I'm going to back that up. All right. Not a fan of Juvenile. I wasn't a fan of that type of hip hop of, Cash Money. That just wasn't my style of hip hop. Right. You were fine looking Jasmine. Why don't you back thing up, right? No, not like that, but I'm going to back this up, okay, with the research. All right, here's the tag. Let's jump into the tag from the one, the only, Mr. Elon Musk. I couldn't believe it. The other day, I'm driving down the road, right? I'm not, the true story, right? Let's just talk about this for a second. You may have to tell Mike this. I'm driving down the road, and I'm thinking, you know what? A lot of people were watching Crypto Hulk, right? It was like 580 people watching Crypto Hulk. And I was like, all right, well, he's the only guy who has a live show right now. I'm not tuning into Crypto Hulk. So driving down Crypto Hulk, or driving down the road, listen to Crypto Hulk. Within like 30 seconds to a minute, out of nowhere, I hear Crypto Hulk. You know what he says? He's like, and a big thank you and shout out to Elon Musk. And I was like, maybe he said Elon Musk. And he's just like, Elon Musk just gifted some memberships to so-and-so. And I was like, well, I'll be darned, Mr. Michael Cornwell. It's a small world, you know? Thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, all right. I've been keeping you guys waiting. Let's jump into this. But yeah, that was something. All right. Yeah, let's show you guys, share this, I should say, with you. It's kind of weird when you type in Twitter now on the top left, like especially if you're using the desktop PC or something like that. It doesn't come up with that little blue bird icon. It almost makes you feel like you're going to a different website, but that's okay. All right. So let's see here. Mr. Elon Musk has these tags. I got to find out where it's at. Where is this at? Mr. Gangsta. Tell me about the days of way back. Where are we at? Oh, shoot. I got to answer this guy back. Hold on, Elon. Mr. Musk. Let me mute this real quick. All right, sorry about that. I had to take care of that real quick. All right, let me jump back to your tag. I had to answer that guy's questions. I mean, this guy is like literally up late asking me questions, but that's okay. So the tags, my bad. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Sometimes it's kind of hard to multitask, right? Like, I mean, I multitask on the show, but then I get thrown even a few more extra things. It's kind of challenging, but it's all right. I accept the challenge. All right, let's see here. Michael Cornwell, who, according to Boomereth and Sooner, you're my hero, right? Yeah. Why am I not singing your tags? Let me try one more time. Mike Cornwell, Max tags. I see a guy eating barbecue chicken from Cash Cats. That's not it. All right, let me just look up Michael Cornwell on crypto Twitter. Like, maybe you tag this a really weird way. Is this a hot dog? Better not be, man. All right, let's see here. 19 seconds ago. 4 hours ago. There's one about XDC network. Okay, all right. So this has to be it then. All right, yeah, I think this is it. This is obviously it. All right, let's share this. This is some bonus coverage from the one and only Michael Cornwell, aka Elon Muff. Smash that like and show this thread. So it states, hopefully, let me see if you guys can hear this. Yeah, you can hear it. So, all right. Putin has signed the digital ruble bill, officially granting legal tender status to the digital ruble. Russia's central bank will commence testing the digital ruble from August 1st. Oh, boy. All right, here's the source from CoinGecko. Putin signs digital ruble bill into law, priming Russian CBDC for launch. Russia's central bank will begin tests for the digital ruble starting on August 1st after receiving Putin's blessing. There's the one and only Putin. Oh, boy. All right. Russian President Vladimir Putin has signed into law a bill that will grant legal tender to a digital ruble amid severe Western sanctions and rising inflation brought on by war in Ukraine. Under the bill, Putin has granted legal authority to the Bank of Russia, the country's central bank, to serve as the platform operator for the central bank digital currency CBDC. The bill also provides legal definitions for users and specifies how banks will operate under the new framework. As Russia embraces CBDCs amidst economic challenges, consider diversifying your assets with Diamond Standard's unique investment offering. Why did I just read ad? Maybe because ever since the time I small boy, I always dreamed of coming to United States of America and going to a place called Wiener Schnitzel and enjoying a great big Coney Island. Although the bill is now has Putin's green light, Russian officials have said they do not expect the digital ruble to be widely adopted for years. In an interview with Forbes, Olga Serobakotovich, the deputy chair of the central bank, said most citizens will only begin receiving access to online wallets by 2025 at the earliest. There's more info about Russia testing digital ruble CBDC in August, barring Putin's veto. But Russia could start testing its digital ruble, a central bank digital currency, in just a few weeks. Unlike cryptocurrency Bitcoin, CBDC is centralized token with a value tied to a national fiat currency. Here in Mother Russia, we don't understand such thing. Today, Russia's ruble is considered to be among the world's first performing currencies because of rising inflation, which has been accelerated by the West sanctions after Moscow launched a war against Ukraine last February. The Russian ruble is currently trading at 90.6 rubles to the American money, and at 100 rubles to the euro. Inflation pushed the central bank to raise its interest rate last week to 8.50 percentage point. The idea of digital ruble has floated around for years in Mother Russia, but the concept drew more urgency after the United States and its allies launched a barrage of unnecessary sanctions against Mother Russia, off from international financial markets after the invasion. Legislative moves to bring the CBDC online accelerated earlier this year. Over the last 2 weeks, both houses of Russia's parliament The State Duma and the Federation Council passed the bill and sent it along for Putin's signature. With it, the central bank can begin starting tests of the CBC as of August 1st. There's a lot more to mention, but the bottom line is this. In the United States of America, you guys have it so well. What you need to understand is if you had to eat borscht day in and day out, you might be a little more grateful for what blessings that have been bestowed upon you. So with that said, make sure that you skeet and you bang bang. That is the news for now. Let's kick it back to the comments. Oh my gosh, can't believe I did that for that long. Anyway. All right. What the heck, right? Gotta have some fun. Anyway, Jasmine, $17. Don't drop your wad yet. DCA. You mean don't shoot your wad yet. Fed will continue to rate hike. Yeah. Easy Marine Sniper says 50 cents, then $1, then $5, $10, $15. That sounds good. Patrick Starr. Edward Vincent's trying to go like Beyonce, Destiny's Child. Say no. I want to say hey. All right. Another great video, Maximus. Thank you and good night. Well, thank you, Mr. OG Crypto. Mr. Gangsta. He's probably gone by the right now. All right. L. Wright Sr., do you think after 8/1/2023 Jasmine will pump or dump? I don't know, man. I mean, who knows? I mean, because you're talking about Binance Japan. Here's the thing. Binance Japan might not actually go live at that time. But, they might delay it. We'll see what happens. Harry Bolsonaro thinks Jasmine might hit to the $5. This is possible. Niet? All right. Jasmine for crypto. You like that? It's a pretty good accent there, Max. Great job staying on Russian character. Yes, if this is first time for anybody in tuning into Crypto Talk Now, I'd like to welcome you. At the end of the day, I invest in the various different cryptocurrencies because the way I look at it is like this. When I used to live in Kisk, I said to myself, ever since the time I was a small boy, before I defected to the United States of America, I used to be a very skinny boy. And then I come over to America and you guys are loaded with preservatives and everything. I eat the macaroni and cheese and I basically blow up like blowfish. I used to be a very good looking boy. And, as time went on and so on, I lost my hair. And, the way I look at it is like this, there is people in this world like Mike Conrell who basically are able to skit. And then there's people like Squidward who are able to bang. And that is the bottom line. If you enjoy content like this every day, please tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. Pacific, or actually 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific for more of that Crypto Talk Now. You will see crazy men with the beard that needs to be dyed who will bring you cryptocurrency information, education, and news updates. Until then, this is Max saying sayonara, even though I'm not Japanese. We'll see you on the next one.